This is the Levels Network. I am Justin Hordle, joined by the Triple OG, Whittam Mason. OG, it is round 8 review time, but it would be remiss if we didn't start with our little mate, the dog of the week, the dog of the month. Lukey Stowe gets the job done up in Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Alpha Events boys, everyone from Tom and Knuckles, the guys that I know really well and had some stuff to do with, had a good chat to them in and around, in and before the fights. Mate, this is, honestly, I've been to some pretty cool boxing events here in Australia. The reach that these guys have got is just crazy, mate. It was a great event. Everyone was pumped up. It was a bit willy-nilly through the middle with some of the tag teams and the chicks fighting. But
Good event, but
a great event. And if you follow the boys and you understand the rivalry and some of the build-up to it, it was good to. I was stoked to be a part of it, and I was stoked our little mate.
our rivalry's dead, eh? We won.
Yeah, we won. Yeah, Cast Patrol Levels rivalry. Lukey's put an end to it. Shout out to Mick from the Cast Patrol. Mate.
Well done, just getting in the fucking ring, mate. But yeah.
I said it to you after the fight. You got me, little mate, a good one. I was in the corner, mate, and I seen his head get knocked back nice and early. But shout out to Isaac Hardman, who also helped us out. He strapped and prepared Lukey before the fight. One of the main messages, the head splitter. One of the main messages was, if you find yourself in a bit of trouble, get in the clinch, regather yourself, and then get back into your rhythm. And I thought both guys did really good because there's a lot of haymakers there, but both Lukey and the boys from the Cast Patrol were working the body. And in the end, he got a couple of knockdowns and he got a stoppage in the second round.
Fucking great.
So
proud of you, mate.
A great event.
Well done to everyone that don't worry about the quality of fights and all that sort of shit. If you're sitting on your fucking couch judging everyone, they got in the ring and they had a crack.
What was that, mate? What was that, Lukey?
5,000 people in the audience.
Yeah, 5,000 people. No, I think everyone was the same. Like, there were a few guys that were a little bit rattled, obviously coming back, big occasion.
Some of these dudes never got punched in the head.
Ever.
Yeah, and then you get in the ring, so you got to give nothing but respect.
Mate, like, Lukey, I will say, before the fight, I noticed the calmness about Luke, and just because he'd done an amateur fight before, he'd done a corporate fight before, and I reckon that paid off for sure because I looked around the room, there was so much nervous energy. Mate, like, people ask me, obviously, because I was there supporting Lukey, am I going to get involved in the next one?
No.
No
It's
chance.
a straight no.
It's a straight no because, like, when you get in the arena and you're playing a game of footy, it's, you got teammates by your side. When you get in there, you've obviously been involved in fights like that. It's you against a guy that could potentially knock you out in front of 4,000, 5,000
Plus,
people.
his head's been hit enough, and I don't want to get hit anymore. That's what they keep asking. I'm done with that shit, mate.
And plus, during your career, you got some good ones on people, so there's no reason for you to let anyone get one back on you.
Over. But well done.
Yeah, well done, Lukey. Very proud of you, mate. And because of that, you've got me to up the ante. So last week, Mace, I announced that I'm a Sydney Marathon ambassador, and seeing my little mate get into his work, it's got me excited. It's got me pumped. Not only do I want to be a part of the Sydney Marathon, but
You want to win it.
I'm setting myself. I want to win it. I'm going to take down. I'm going to take down everyone at the Sydney Marathon. No, but I'm going to set myself a genuine target. Right?
Yeah.
I looked at it. I gone. Lukey didn't just go there to compete. He went there to win. I've got my own version of winning, and for me.
What is it?
I'm going sub-4 marathon.
Sub-4?
I'm going sub-4.
That's moving, man.
Yep.
That's moving. Was that your goal last year?
No, I wanted to get in and around 4 hours, but because I'm involved, like, it's a different level.
Fuck it,
this
go
year.
hard, bro.
Like I said last week, at the halfway point, I was at 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm on track, but everyone who's done marathons, specifically Nick Youngquest and Benny Lucas, guys that I run and train with, they said you find out you're in a marathon at the 30 to 35K mark. And because of the weather last year and the hip injury, I never really got to that point. So I still don't know what that feels like properly. Because for those who aren't aware, last year I ran it in 5 hours, 5 minutes. So I want to beat my time by an hour and 5 minutes. And I'm ready to go for it, mate. So
get your body right. That hip just went on you, man.
Yeah.
So take care of all that sort of shit. The 1%ers, and I reckon you'll get it done.
For sure. I reached out when we had the Aqua Rugby tournament a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago. Taj is going to get the nutritionist and that to help me out with all the supplements and a diet plan leading into it
Good,
as
man.
well.
You'll nail it.
So I'm gonna leave no stone unturned for this, and like I said, Lukey's really motivated me. So for anyone who wants to join, not only on the day but also in the lead up to it, I'm going to bring back the Levels Run Club. So if you're not aware, we have a Levels Run Club Instagram page. We've also got that Strava group, Mace.
Yep.
We were doing it in the off season. I'm going to bring it back on a Saturday. I'm going to do one Saturday a month. I'm obviously going to be doing training by myself, but in order, or if you want to rock up and train and have a run with us.
You can have a walk. If it's once a month, I'll turn up.
Yep. All right. Sweet. Mace, you're in for it as well. It'll be once a month. You can have a walk, but we do 5 kilometers. It's about half an hour. I might even get there a little bit earlier. So it'll be 6:30 a.m. at Centennial Park. But to follow us, go on our Levels Run Club page or our Strava group to follow. And there will be a link in the bio to join the team. We've obviously got a Levels Run Club team if you want to join me and be a part of it. In order to start together, there are different gun times. So join Group E, which is a target of 4 hours and 30 minutes to 5 hours. Even though my target is to get 4 hours, we'll still start together in that range. Probably run together for the first couple of K, see how everyone's traveling, and then if I'm feeling good, obviously get into a bit of rhythm and go after that 4 hours, mate.
Yeah, it's good.
We've also got, I've been recruiting, so not only will we have a whole bunch of our listeners from Levels Run Club, we've roughly got about 12 in there already. But I'm grabbing a few ex-NRL players to get on board with us as well. Spoke to Normie throughout the week. Normie's going to be joining us. Louis Brown and Jamie Bureau ran it with me last year. I've had a chat to Jamie. He's in. Louis Brown, I just got to confirm with him. But I'm going to look at getting another couple more involved as well. So, like I said, mates, it's going to be tough to get it.
Good.
A few things that I'm going to do as well as reach out to the guys from BSC for my nutrition and my plan.
Yeah.
Obviously, Nick Youngquest and Benny Lucas have done multiple, so I'm going to have a proper training plan. I'll be adding that to the Strava group as well so people can see the sort of runs that I'm doing. It'll be 3 runs a week. I'm not going to go too hard now. It'll be three runs a week. Probably I'll do like a 12 to 14 week program leading in. But now, during these next couple of months, still get a couple of runs in. But I'm going to go dry too. No alcohol from August 1st.
Ooh, nice.
So that leaves the race is on the 15th of September.
Yep.
So that's a good 6-7 weeks off the syrup. And if you are keen to get involved in the Sydney Marathon and join our Levels Run Club group, make sure you get on now. I just got an update through the emails from the Sydney Marathon, 80% full. So the tickets are flying at the moment.
Yeah.
The run clubs and these sort of events are so popular at the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like us.
Very
gets
health conscious. It's
health
good.
conscious.
It's great.
So we're ready to go. And like I said last week, the Sydney Marathon is at the final year of a 3-year evaluation process to become an official Abbott World Marathon Major, which is huge. We want Sydney to be a major, just like Tokyo, just like Boston, just like London, just like Berlin, Chicago, and New York City. Mace, you're not a big runner, and you're not a marathon guy, but you do a couple of K with us on some of the runs. If there was one of those locations, which one stands out to you the most that you think you'd be just because of the location? Be keen to jump on? Yeah, New York's the one.
I heard that's unbelievable. Biff has done that before. Luke,
He has.
He's done that before.
Yep. And the boys,
Good man.
they did it a couple of years ago, and they reckon it's the best ever. Shout out
I
to
think they just did it for the after party. Pretty
and
sure.
that, like that's a part of it too. And
sure that's
and
it.
you'll be at the finish line
Yeah,
with
I'll
me
be
as
at the
well, won't you,
finish
mate?
line. Yes, mate.
And we'll have a few schooners together. But
You know what? I was just thinking about yesterday, right?
Yep.
When Lukey would have won up, when he won the fight, and he would have woken up on the Gold Coast, bit dusty, and then I was like, you know what could be worse? He could be Paul Kent. Imagine waking up to that shit and just going, what the fuck just happened? You think you're just coming up from a nightmare. You'd be like you'd be looking at your phone, blowing up, right? Blowing up. You're like,
how many times has it been sent to you?
Oh, mate, and different versions and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is fucked. Then you expect that shit from a fucking 18-year-old at a festival who's just discovered fucking shit, right? Not a 50-year-old man who is a prevalent figure on TV. That is fucked up.
You said
it's
it.
hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
It's so
I was just
funny.
like, is he tried to do a cartwheel on a fucking stump of a tree. He got hip tossed.
What about when he got up and he had a couple of guys around him and he
He
didn't have his bearings?
Was.
Like when you're in that position, and you've said this before, like
Yeah.
if you're in a position where you're critical of people,
Yeah, mate.
some of
Houses.
the clips that have come out, you have to be squeaky clean.
Oh, mate, you got to be like Danny Widler's Danny Widler's a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
You can never see Danny do anything like. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do anything. Doesn't go out. He just because he knows he's throwing darts all the time. People,
Yes.
he's very critical,
Yep.
but he lives a life that you can't criticize. You can't be out like that. And the guys, hey, what about your awareness, right? When the phone's in your face going, hey, PK, don't do it. It's not worth it. And you still fucking run to try and fight a guy like you're fucking 18.
Yeah.
Mate, imagine waking up, you're looking at your phone, you're just going, oh, I'll look after that. That should blow over. That's never blown over.
There was a funny meme of
It's fucking hilarious.
Cam McInnes
Yeah.
with his head. You know, how his head's after
Yeah.
games, it's just all bristled. And it said something about Paul Kent looking up
Yeah.
at his phone and looking at a picture
Oh,
of Cam. There's some good ones. There's another one where I think they're talking about the Paddy Carrigan wrestle.
Yeah,
I think Adam Reynolds.
they put everything, the voiceover when he was saying it to how he was acting that night. Hey, late bloomers, you can't help them.
Nah, they're no good, mate.
Mate, the amount of fucking time just been said to me and just the amount of talk like this is just like,
Yeah.
can you believe that happened?
Yeah.
Like this guy's 50 years old.
Yeah, especially what he's just been going
Especially
through.
what he's gone through.
Yeah,
It's just
got
like
back.
50-year-old, mate. Like just go get some help, bro.
Yeah, I'm always very aware of being too critical of people because
mate, this is fucking...
But mate, glass houses, we've lived a life, right? But
When it's on footage and you see how you act, and then you can sit there and judge.
No, but surely like the quick succession of like what's just happened for him and not realizing at his age, you're like, come on, man. Like
Bro,
I've made errors.
Find a
but then
25-year-old.
I don't make another error for about at least 5 years.
At least win the fucking fight. He got hip tossed on his head, tried to do a cartwheel and a backspin, got up, tried to fucking look around who he was going to fight. Didn't know where he was.
Good brand.
Fucking hilarious.
Good brand advertisement for Toddies though.
Yeah, Toddy's.
Oh, is
killing
it? Actually, I don't know. Toddy's is the grouse.
He's not even
regardless.
was that the Roselle one? He can't get in the Bondi one.
All right, mate, let's do the recap for round 8. My Bets Friends recap. And Mace, I killed it this week. I'm starting to get a bit of rhythm.
Yeah, nice.
By the way. The Warriors minus 12.5. Looked good after Chance Nickel-Klokstad scored straight away with my anytime try score and then Adam strolled over. But for whatever reason, we'll get to that. The Warriors are fading after getting to good starts.
It's happening.
I went tick in the Roosters game, minus 6.5. I was really confident in this one. And Joey Manu, he gets 2. So I got him at $2.60.
Nice.
Storm minus 13.5. Little scare there, I guess, for a little bit on this game with South, but never really in
What?
doubt.
No
I had
way.
Jerome Hughes. He was no good, even though everyone else in the team scored. Manly minus 8.5. Tommy Turbo, he gets a try. Got those two. Tick. Broncos minus 11.5. I got that and I got it comfortably, but Tigers, they did show a little bit. Tony didn't score, however.
34-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
He racked it.
Yep, they put it in the rack. Panthers minus 9.5. They were up 24-4, but credit to the Cowboys. They come back flying.
Gritty.
Dylan Edwards, however, scored for me anytime, $2.50. The Knights plus 7.5. I really like this bet. I expected to bounce back after being embarrassed by the Bulldogs. But Bradman Best didn't score for me. And to finish off, I got the double. Sharks minus 6.5. Britain Nikora, $3.75. So the outlay this year, for those that aren't aware, I do $10 for every bet. I've had an outlay of $1,280. The kitty is currently at $1,270.50. So my profit went from negative $92 all the way up to negative $9.50.
We'll be even this week.
We'll be even this week. I'm in a rhythm. We've said it before. You start to realise who the good
Gotta
teams
gauge.
are,
You gotta gauge.
where the form lines are rolling. But as always, we want everyone to be playing safe during this footy season. So please keep front of mind what are you really gambling with. And if you need free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858. And I also got my Levels Punters Club bet up as well for anyone who followed that. Over 46.
I think a lot of people follow that.
It's never in doubt.
It's fucking solid.
Yeah, it's a solid.
And I'm
bet.
pretty sure they gamble responsibly, so it's all good.
Of course. All right, Mace. No Paul Kent is not our BSC dog.
He
of
was
the week.
close.
He was
If
close.
he had a one, if he didn't get hip tossed and did a 360 on his head,
If he'd done the
ended up
hip,
in a cartwheel, if he had in pike and landed in a pike position, he would have got dog of the week.
if he'd done the hip tossing,
Yeah.
then he would have been the
He
BSC
would've-
dog of the
I
week.
think he would have.
But Mace, your BSC dog of the week is
All right. Brian Toto. He could probably be your dog of the week every single week.
Yeah.
But considering being up there, how hot it is up there, playing against the North Queensland Cowboys who throw a lot of football at you.
Yeah, good point.
He come up with 18 hit-ups, 227 metres, 77 post-contact, 2 line breaks, 21 tackle breaks, a record. You're going
Record.
to tell me who was the previous record holder?
You forgot his first try as well on his 100th game to start the game.
100th game and a try.
So a little bit of trivia for those playing at home. I had to look at this because I was like, that has to be close to the record.
Yeah.
It is indeed. So Brian Toto, with 21 tackle breaks, surpasses the bustling
Matt.
Preston Campbell
Preston Campbell.
on 20 for the Titans against the Broncos in round 24 of 2008.
I could see how that could happen because
Yeah,
he was stepping around. You couldn't even touch him.
Even though it surprises you initially,
Yeah.
how jinky and stop-start
Yeah.
he was and pushing away, it does.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like, oh, what? And then you're like, oh, actually, yeah, he was a problem.
Yeah.
Preston Campbell was a problem.
Yeah.
And back to Brian Toto.
So Toto, like just say with some of those runs that he made in crucial parts when the Cowboys were coming home. They were coming home. Some of his runs just got him out of yardage quite easily. Set up some tries. His defense is very slept on. He only made 5 tackles. He doesn't miss any. You know what I mean? So he's my BSC dog of the week because he's an absolute dog, 24/7. I love him.
Mate, you said it perfectly. Like, he literally now,
That's just the norm for him too.
for him to be the dog of the week, he has to break records for us.
Yeah.
Because we just expect it. Otherwise, he's probably not your dog of the week, right?
Yeah.
Because we expect this from him week in, week out. He's the first. When you go through the New South Wales team,
The best winger in the world.
I don't think there's not one person that doesn't have Brian Toto part of the New
Yeah.
South Wales team. He's one of those locks, and he was outstanding. I'll tell you who else was outstanding, mate. The first game, and they needed him big time.
Yeah.
They made the position switch. He's back at his preferred position.
There you
My
go.
BSC dog of the week is AJ Alejandro Brimson from the Gold Coast Titans. He had 14 carries for 186 metres,
Jeez.
61 post contact, 2 line breaks, 5 tackle breaks, 6 tackles, which were crucial. The reason I put them in, because he's fullback, and a lot of those tackles, or a couple of those tackles were really crucial try-saving tackles, and even some of the deflections, when the Warriors were building momentum at the back end of the game, he, alongside Fozzie in particular, who I thought was great as well, just kept turning up for their team. And at the start of the year, Des rocked up. He had a problem. He had 3 fullbacks that are capable of playing NRL first grade. So he moved probably their best option into another position to accommodate for the other 2. But I think he's realised right now, when you move your best option, not only do you weaken that position, you weaken other positions and you weaken the teammate. And since he's been back there in the last couple of weeks, he's been outstanding. They probably deserve to win against Manly. I'm stoked that they got a win because I have been involved in teams that have struggled, like the Gold Coast Titans. So I feel that. The anxiety, the pressure that builds with that, it's not a nice place to be. And the Gold Coast Titans get a really important win against a really good Warriors team that are underperforming at the moment.
What's happening?
And we'll get to that in breaking down the game. But shout out to AJ Brimson, my BSC dog of the week. All right, mates, we've got some replies from last week. We love this as well. So just want to thank, have you got something?
No, I just
you put your finger up like you were
I touched the screen and it just moved the whole thing. I was like, get off.
Is it back?
Yeah, it's back. It's back.
Also, want to thank everyone for who has subscribed. Make sure you subscribe to the show, whether it be on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Follows on Instagram are just flying at the moment. TikTok, it all helps us. And for those who aren't aware, I get people messaging me on Instagram. I actually get now some people that are friends that are texting me. Write them in the comments on YouTube because it's just copy and paste for me. It's so much easier. And I never write down messages from Instagram unless it's an all black.
Yes.
So
Please
we have
do.
a reply, and this one is from Rainiera Morrison. I think that's how you pronounce the first name, brother. Cheer to the levels, lads. Horos and Triple OG, Widemu Mace. Not a day one up, but been listening religiously since round 19, 2023. Love the show. Funny, on point, and the no pissing around off the back fence type of attitude. In regards to Jordan Barrett, 100% born in Ireland, has whānau there still, and that's his reasoning for going there rather than Japan, France, etc. So I reached out to the man himself, Geordie, and Geordie confirmed, Mace, he was in Ireland, but hey, bro, I was born in New Zealand in 2000. My family...
2000?
My family... Yeah, Geordie's still
Fucking hell.
So what's Geordie, 26?
Yeah.
26. My family relocated to Ireland for 2 years for a change of scene. Parents worked on a dairy farm and dad played second division rugby. I was there for the ages of 3 and 4 at the time.
Yeah,
so
that's where I got mixed up. 3 and 4.
So maybe Scotty Barrett is younger.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get people messaging us
Doesn't
again,
matter.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But
I heard it was 3 or 4, and I thought that was 3 or 4 years he lived there. So I must have just...
there would have been, I reckon you would have watched maybe a piece on the Barrett brothers together, and potentially maybe Scotty was born.
Yeah, whoever that kid, whoever the Barrett is that's
youngest
going
one.
there, yeah.
No, well, Jordan's just said he's the one that's going there, right?
Okay.
And he was there, so he was there for 2 years, but he
Yeah.
was born in New Zealand, went there when he was
But when he
2,
said he
so-
was 3 or 4, I must have thought that was he lived there for 3
Oh,
or 4
gotcha.
years. That's where I got it because I watched that interview with him.
Okay.
When he was on there. So yeah,
Got you. And if you don't know about Geordie's, everyone knows I love my golf.
Yeah.
Go follow his page, Just Ball Striking. It's some of the best content, especially when he gets some of the other All Blacks boys on. It's so entertaining to watch. Also got this YouTube reply from Benji, and it's not Benji Marshall. Jet Cleary will be reuniting with Luke Hanson. So remember that kid I told you that I played when I went back and played local footy a couple of years ago at Glenmore Park?
Yeah.
And he's been signed by the Warriors. So he's a young hooker coming through the grades.
Okay.
He would have had a relationship with Webster or worked with
young.
Webster. He's the same age as Jet Cleary. They went to brothers together.
Oh, okay. There you
So
go.
there's a little combination there as well. So I dare say when he moves over, Luke
They've
Hanson.
had a little chat. Like,
Maybe there could be something. I know obviously Wade Egan is probably going to be thereabouts for a while, but in this day and age, the Super Sub 14, he can probably play multiple positions. So Jet Cleary, watch out for Luke Hanson and Jet Cleary coming through at the Warriors fans. This one is a question, and this one is from Jay Arson. He always has some pretty good questions. He's a day one for sure. Question: you are the Panthers and have to replace a starting winger, Sinea Taruva, a 5'8" Jerome Luai, and a prop, James Fisher-Harris. He hasn't put their names, but I guess that's what he's alluding to. One can be $1 million player, the next a $500,000 player, and the other one has to be a minimum wager. Now, I'm gathering we're both going to be on the same page with the minimum wage. How do you prioritise these positions for Penrith
for Penrith,
specifically?
$1 million for the prop.
I'm with you. Why?
And then because you've got Cleary and he can just dominate the side, then you've got these other young kids coming up who can just plug and place, that just do enough to let Cleary just run the side. But they're going to miss a big hole with Fisher-Harris gone, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Leota's just, he's arrived, you know what I mean? But him and Fish work together as the best tandem in the game.
Yep.
So, you're going to have a guy like Leota next year and probably Lindsay Smith.
Yep.
Lindsay Smith's probably your dude. But I'm saying, good luck trying to find $1 million prop on the scene as well. Because they're all taken.
This is just a hypothetical.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical. So I'm spending $1 million. If Payne Haas is coming off, I'm giving him $1 million.
Or Tino, or some of the guys that
Tino,
have been
one of the
off
big
Adam.
dogs are coming off. I'm paying him $1 million. I'm paying the 5'8", 500, and then the winger on.
The name that's been tossed up a fair bit, and Penrith have now secured both Taruva and Jerome Luai from the Tigers. The name that keeps getting tossed up is Stefano originally.
Yeah, I'm paying him $1 million.
Just say, what do you think his price would be right now?
About that?
Do you really think so? Wow.
Because if you ever look through all the recruitment and everybody who's taken as front rowers, they're all on $1 million plus,
true.
right?
Yep.
So he's that next guy. He's the best young prop in the game.
Yeah. So you're projecting.
That hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
Payne Haas has arrived. Tino's arrived. They've all arrived.
Adam Tups.
Yeah, he's coming through, 23 years old. He's the next big thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just think when you find someone like that, and if you can grab him, it's $1 million starting point for these young props now. If you think he's going to play for Australia, New South Wales, which he already has,
Yeah.
And
New South Wales, he has.
I
yeah.
think he's going to play Test football and everything.
Yeah, I could envision a contract, and people might think this is crazy because he hasn't proven it consistently. But he's been at a Tigers team that's been super inconsistent. But I think if you're a good judge of rugby league, you can watch Stefano and go, He's an elite prop in a good team. And I hope he stays at the Tigers because I like what the Tigers are doing. But I could easily see a world in which he goes 800, a mil, 1.2 over 3.
Yeah,
Do you think
something
that's
like that? I think
so? Basically, a mil a year. You're
yes, something like that. He's the only young kid that's out there that could demand that money.
right. Yep. All right, and then what about the 500,000? Then you're happy to have a mid-range player play 6 outside of Nath because obviously
Probably try and get like a Cogger back or something like that.
yeah,
That'd be
could-
worth about that.
Yeah,
What's
do you
Cogger playing reserve grade?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Yeah. I bet if you sort of reached out to him now and said, "You want to come back for 500?"
Yeah, he'd do it in a heartbeat.
straight away.
Yeah, do it in a heartbeat. You're right.
And your winger, I think you can just probably pick anyone that's in their reserve grade or anything like that just to sit on the wing. And you got Alamotti there, who was fucking close to being their best player.
On the weekend, he was really
Yeah,
good.
on the weekend, he really looks sharp. His potential, his ceiling is here.
Yeah.
No one's ever doubted that. He just needs to be in the right system.
And he is.
He's in the right system, and I don't think he's on minimum wage anyway, but he's already there.
Well, he would have been potentially on minimum wage
Yeah.
after I assume
think
that
he was on
did he get a payout not from the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I
or
think he
anything?
would have. He's on a little bit. He didn't go there for nothing.
Okay.
But
He just got
in saying
upgraded
that,
anyway.
yeah, he's your winger for next year already. Just from that performance on the weekend, he's going to be battling to River for that spot.
Well, I've got some information on Taruva. Well, I might as well get to it
If
now.
you're looking at the future of the club, Taruva's gone to the Tigers, and you look at this kid, he could be there for the next 3 or 4 years.
Well, I saved
Alamotti.
this because we're going to talk about Shane Richards. Let's address it now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Taruva has gone on a 3-year deal. Ivan has confirmed that Sunir Taruva was sidelined for the game on the weekend because contract negotiations had taken an emotional toll on him. So, yeah. He also said after that Taruva would be straight back in. But Paul Alamotti is clearly the next in line for any position in the back line. They've also got a young kid called Jesse McLean who they've got high hopes for as well. All right, mate. This one is from Ihan1. Love the podcast, lads. Been watching every episode of the last year now after watching clips off TikTok. Found us on TikTok, Lukey. You'd love that one. He's a Malaysian fan based in Exeter in the UK. I hope I'm getting that right. Exeter, that sounds right, eh? Because I fucked up the which one was the one a couple of weeks ago? It was awful anyway. The Levels Network reach is crazy. Got me watching most NRL games every weekend now consistently. Been waiting to get into trying out playing league at an amateur level, but not sure if the age of 2022. Sorry. But not sure if at the age of 22 it might be too late. Grew up playing soccer, but have been keen to give rugby league a shot. Just a bit of fun on the weekends based off how much I enjoy watching it. Any advice on how to start would be unreal, boys. My advice would be, Maze, no, it's not too late. 22, you got plenty of time. Amateur footy is fine. If there is any sort of, I don't know if they have Oztag in the UK. If they do, recommendation would be Oztag or touch football. No, it's the best way to learn the game and learn the skills.
Yeah, don't go straight into tackles.
And then you'll see some NRL players need to work on their tackling as well.
Tackling is 50% of the game, mate.
Yeah.
Get your tackle tech right. Get your fundamentals right. Learn how to catch the ball. Little things like that. Passing, catching is the most fundamental stuff, and tackling. Get all 3 right. And then if you can run.
Yep.
Keep it basic. But if you can play touch football, try that. Just, you got to learn to pass backwards and all those sort of things and spiral the ball, end over end balls and
Really
all that
underrated,
kind of
just a
stuff.
good catch pass.
A good catch pass, being under pressure and all that kind of stuff. Catching the ball at speed, moving, just practice all your fundamentals.
Yep. Well said. All right. This one is from Jordan. Hey, boys. Listen, since day one from Halifax, UK, become my favourite potty. Bit of a different question. I know you guys are not physio doctors, but listen to Anthony Milicello speak about his injuries and changed a lot of the things since being told he had to retire to then come back and win a grand final with the Chooks. Have you boys ever had certain injuries like meniscus, breaks, ligaments, damages, etc.? And has it ever played on your mind and coming back from it? Thanks, boys, Jordan.
Yeah, of course.
What was your main one?
Probably the Liz
go one.
Frank. The Liz Frank.
Yep.
That was that's troubling still now, 20 years later.
Wow.
Your balance, your proprioception when you're in your feet, where you just got it's just off a little bit. ACL in my right leg. So like you worry about being the sort of player I was is like running through people, right?
Yep.
And over people. And like if you can't do that because you can't drive off your feet, off your legs and through your knees and feet, which is the most important things, you doubt yourself massively, right?
Okay.
And it's it plays on your mind for the whole time you're in rehab, all the time that you're just starting to learn to walk again, learning to run. So you've gone from, at top of your game to fucking not being able to walk. So mentally, you're just going, how the fuck am I going to get back to actually dominating the NRL, test level, origin level, all that sort of stuff? Minicella, I was there when Mini done his back in 2006. We were in an Anzac test in camp 2 days before. Like everyone knew he had his sort of back problems and everything like that probably from his younger ages doing gymnastics. Walk into his room, Mini's laying on the floor. And I said, what's up? He goes, back's fucked. Didn't play for 2 years from that day.
Wow.
For 2 years he didn't play because his back was that jacked up, had to get operations. And credit to Mini, I know how hard he worked to get back, his nutrition, his diet, everything's like top shelf and still is right now. But you question yourself the whole time. Until you can still get that power back, you start building muscle back in your leg. Watching your leg go from fucking being strong as hell, squatting 200 kilo, doing all this sort of shit to fucking disintegrated.
So when did
It's not that good.
So when did you actually feel like you were back to close to your best?
It takes 18 months.
Wow.
Ages.
Yeah.
Ages.
So when you look at some guys, right, who go through some injuries.
Why do you keep saying when I said to Kiri about Kiri, I said he'll play good football this year.
Yeah,
give him 12 to 18 months. These guys, man.
Okay, yeah, good example. That was going to be my question.
It's the coming off the right foot, driving through people. I could run at you, but I couldn't drive through you, right? Because you're scared about your fucking knee popping again or your foot going on you again. It's a confidence thing. So you got to keep repeating repetitive stuff, habits, all that kind of stuff. Getting back in there, building your confidence. It's fucking hard. It's hard. You need the good rehab guys around. You need a good club that's backing you. You need a lot of fucking support. And you need to be strong here, mentally, yourself. If you're fucking mentally weak, you let injuries fuck you up, ruin your confidence and ruin your career.
A really underrated part of the football program or staff is physio and a good trainer.
Yeah, man.
Rehabilitation trainer.
Yep.
I've been at some clubs that have had some poor ones and I've been to some clubs that had some really good ones and makes a big difference. Speaking of making a big difference, mate, here we go. Let's read this out. This is from our friends at BSC. We've got the bars in front of us. Where's your bar, mates, in front of you? So, elevate your performance. This is for the Levels podcast. We're excited to be sharing some of our favourite products bundled together specifically for you. We love them and we are confident you will too. So don't be afraid to share them on the show. These are the Candy-like protein bars. An all-new Candy-like protein bar is here. Your favourite chocolate treats just got a high protein, low sugar transformation. So let's get into it, mates. What do you got? Which one? And we're not going to try these every episode, but let's try them now. This is the first time.
Violet crumble caramel honeycomb.
Okay, and I've got the violet crumble.
The OG one.
Chocolate honeycomb.
Is that the same?
No, I got the chocolate. You got the caramel.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
That's too nice.
Oh, wow. Straight away. That is so nice.
Always question, how can they be so good for you? Fuck.
Look at that. 4.5 health star rating too.
Well done, BSC. Nailed it again.
It's not good for content to be eaten, but when you specifically got a sponsor and they taste that good, it makes me want to rip in. I'm just going to leave that there because I've got to run. Obviously, you got the preparation and we're going to be getting after it. So thank you to BSC, our partners at BSC. Best in the business, baby. How that is a 4.5. That tastes way too good to be. But they do a good job. Well done, BSC. All right, let's get into a couple of topics, a couple of big ones actually, mate. There's been a lot of chat about the interim role for Shane Richardson, but that has been extended or signed off on now. The West Tigers CEO has been signed on to take over properly for 4 years, Mace. Shane Richardson, I know he's obviously been successful at a number of clubs. Have you had much dealings with Richo over the years?
He's been mainly Penrith and mainly South.
Yep.
So I haven't really had much to do with him, but heard he's a very good operator. So just shows the Tigers are making moves, mate.
Yeah.
He's a big deal.
I think it's important to highlight. We already spoke about Taruva's 3-year deal. The part I love about it is that we just didn't see it coming.
No.
There's
no rumours or anything.
Me and you, we talk about some stuff that we don't necessarily say on the podcast because we get given information that's we shouldn't be saying on the podcast. We might find out some stuff. But I even with the radio, I do stuff with SEN. I asked a few of the people at SEN, had no idea it was coming. And that's a great sign for the club because in the past, or especially in clubs that are going poor, there are so many leaks. There are so many.
Always get out.
There's all the information that gets out. Everyone assumed he was either going to go to the Dragons, stay at Penrith, or that he even toured Newcastle. And then behind sweeps in Shane Richardson. And he gets a very versatile Sunil Turuva.
Yeah.
And he's been doing some great things. He's obviously aligned with Benji, which is really important as well.
Because they lost the Tupou kid, so they've put in someone who's just as good or better. I'm not sure. Because he hasn't shown his ceiling yet.
Yeah, you're right.
You could play centre, wing, fullback. I know Bull is your fullback, but...
Yeah, and that's a luxury of having a guy like Turuva who grew up in the juniors and played international footy for Fiji as fullback. There's even a world which I don't think their centres are completely locked in.
No.
You've got Brett Naden.
No, and
Olam. Olam looks to have he'll be...
And someone else in the young Tafo.
Faye Tape.
Yeah.
He got dropped for Naden.
Yeah, but he's
recently.
he's been around there. He's
Okay.
played about 3 or 4 games. So, he doesn't have proper, locked-in centres.
Yep.
None of them are.
So there's an opportunity to
Yeah.
play centre for him. There's an opportunity to play wing. But yeah, I'm the same as you, mate. I've seen some of the stuff from Shane Richardson on the buy round with Jammer.
Yeah, he's got his
Loves the
shit
chat.
together, Yeah.
He loves the chat. But like all the heavy operators, they're very direct.
Businessman.
They're in anything, right?
Yeah.
They might rub few people the wrong way, but you don't get to the top without having to fucking make some
I
tough
haven't heard
decisions.
that. I mean, guys like GI, who I'm very close with, hasn't got a bad word to say about this bloke.
Yep.
Loves him. So it's a big signing, and it just shows where the club is going, right? Like if you're a young player, like Shane Richardson as a CEO,
Yeah.
you haven't got that other bloke.
Yeah, it's locked in. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you look at the CEOs when you go into another club, it's a big deal. The CEO.
Yeah. You're right. And it's just the stability that it brings with
Yes.
Benji as well, because he's clearly aligned with Benji, which is important.
Yep.
I think it's a great sign. And we're seeing signs of the West Tigers improving, even though the result on the weekend wasn't great. But West Tigers, I think this will be good. Was Shane
right
Richardson at Rabbitohs when they got Nigel and Razza early on?
Maybe I don't know.
Or would that being too early? I don't know. Maybe someone will let us know in the comments.
Nigel was around about 2005, I think,
Yeah.
and then Razza was 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might have just been after.
Yeah.
He might have got GI.
Now, how long
and
was he?
Sam-
How long was he at Penrith for? Has he been part of this whole fucking dynasty?
Oh, we'll find out
Find it
exactly.
out, okay.
I'll find out exactly. I'm not too familiar with all the Penrith movements, but I know he was. He's been a big part of Souths in particular. That's where I associate Richo with.
Yeah,
I
same,
didn't know
same.
too much about the Penrith time, to be honest. Staying on South Sydney though, this broke last night through the Sydney Morning Herald that Latrell is considering a shock Origin withdrawal. Mitchell's sit-down conversation with club officials regarding his commitment to the club a couple of weeks ago have made him consider where his priorities lie. Following his 3-game ban after 2 incidents against the Warriors, which included the elbow to Sean, which led to him missing 3 weeks, Latrell has previously withdrawn from Origin as well. Remember in 2022 he did it, but that was because he was returning from a hamstring injury. My take on this, and I want to,
I'd love to hear it.
let you know.
Yeah.
Latrell, do not withdraw from this series.
Okay.
I think I understand your reasonings in 2022. When you're coming back from an injury, whether it's Kalen last year with the head knocks, Latrell in 2022 with the hamstring, fully understand it. Health is your priority. You need to be playing your best to make sure you're able to do your best work for the club. But in this case, I feel like Latrell's lost a bit of his swag and confidence, and I think a really strong Origin series
I like it.
can really bring Troll back.
Fucking
And
oath.
it actually be, even though he misses games for South Sydney during that period, it'll be a benefit for South Sydney because they need the best version of Latrell back.
100%.
And the best version of Latrell is a confident Troll. Like even when obviously he's made a few mistakes with the elbow, but like I love it when Latrell's like not picking people up, like pushing them in the face. Like but for some people that rubs them the wrong way, but I love that Troll.
Just toes the line.
Like
he's on it.
Yeah, we
Teetering.
grew up in the 90s watching the 90s, mates. Like we like that. Like that was the sort of rugby league that we watch. And yeah, that comes with criticism. But at the moment, because they're not winning games and the team is struggling, he's sort of been in this like a bit nice. I want him to get to Origin. I want him to play fucking left centre. I want him to be aggressive. All the pressure's off. It's not like at South Sydney where he is the guy with Cody Walker and results determined. He will be in a team with potentially Teddy, Tommy Turbo, Nathan Cleary.
best.
It'll be a
You were the
stacked
best.
lineup. I hope, obviously, mate, he's a part of my best 17. He might not be everyone's, but he's a part of my best 17. And I hope he plays and gets some of the confidence back because the game is better with Latrell in it and Origin is better.
I love that
with
take.
Latrell in it.
I love that take.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, there's a lot of could be very nuanced. It could be the coach ringing him going, I'm umming and ahhing about picking you.
Yep.
I
wouldn't be surprised either.
There could be a couple of little things here, and he might be going, fuck it. If you don't feel like picking me, I'm going to get on the front foot and not play. These are all little things that could happen.
Yep.
Which I don't think.
Mate, I don't think that's the worst take because South aren't been going good. Obviously, Madge wants to come in. He probably wants guys that are in form and playing well.
Yeah.
Whether he's had the conversation or whether it might be a gut feeling from Latrell.
Yeah.
But Latrell, I hope you're
I
playing.
know what Madge wants. I had a coffee with him 2 weeks ago, and he wants people who love that jersey, right?
Yep.
Bleed for that jersey. And Latrell is one of them.
Yeah.
Every time he puts that jersey on, he's always been one of the best players out there. So that's the kind of guys that he wants in the jersey, right? So
do you reckon even as a Queensland fans are looking going like,
fucking oath.
it would be better to have Latrell part of the game?
You don't want Latrell playing
No,
if you're a Queenslander.
Okay, you don't want him.
Because he's that dude, mate. He'll dominate the shit out of that right centre. I think it might be Val Holmes or someone like that. He doesn't care, mate. Every time he's got that blue jersey on, Latrell's one of our best players.
Correct.
He's had some fucking performances which are just lights out.
2021, he was very close to mine.
Him and Turbo. If Turbo wasn't the greatest player of all time in that year, do you know what I mean? That one season, he would have had the Brad Fittler medal and the Wally Lewis, everything. So I think your take is perfect. I think he should play. I think we need him to play. And just for his confidence. No? He's a little bit down now because he's suspended and South aren't going that good and he's getting the finger pointed at Latrell. That's what happens when you're the best player in the whole team. The fingers are going to get pointed. Get back into Origin, play your best football, South's back on track, and don't just because he's not doing it just to try and get South back up there. You know what I mean? Like, do it for that. Play Origin is the pinnacle.
Yep.
That's what you should be playing.
When he comes back with that swag.
It'll devalue the jersey if Latrell chooses not to play for New South Wales.
Okay.
Come on, bro. This is the pinnacle of the game. You can't just fucking drop out of Origin because you don't feel like playing. I don't know.
It's saying he doesn't feel like playing. I think he's trying to prioritise South Sydney.
Fuck South. Go for New South Wales. Do you know what I mean? We've got to win for New South Wales. I want Latrell to play. He's the best player that we've got. He's left centre. Don't worry about South. You've given enough. And you've got another 2 or 3 years there. Yeah. You don't know when your Origin career's up.
Yeah, but do you agree with me? I think it'll benefit South.
It'll benefit South. Yeah. But don't do it for South. Yeah, fuck.
But go the Bulldogs.
Go the Dogs. Love you, South.
All right, mate, let's get to reviewing the games. Kicking it off, we had 3 games on Anzac Day. And this game was arguably the best of the day with the result. It was so close. The Warriors, they look like the better team for majority of the game, but again, not where it counts, mate. The Titans scrapped, they clawed, they had my BSC dog of the week. Where do you see the Warriors right now,
I don't know because I can see him getting beat by a way better side. The Titans are on their knees right now.
Titans and Dragons in the last 2 weeks. The teams have lost
fucking worse. Well done to the Titans, first of all.
Yes.
Great effort. But I just did not expect the Warriors to get beat by these guys, especially the way they started. Yeah. They've done this 3 times now.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not a habit that they're creating, and especially at home.
How do you stop that, mate? So
I don't know. It's something. You know what I think a couple of weeks ago when they were in a really good position, I think it was Canberra maybe.
Yep.
And Canberra started coming back, and then they put the foot down again. They ended up getting the win. I think it might have been that game.
I think you're right. I think they started well against Canberra. Yeah, because Adam scored first.
Yes, because
then Canberra come back. And then they got to a lead, and then they had to hang on.
Yes, because the first game when they come out, blew Cronulla off, and then Cronulla come back.
Yep.
I think they learnt from that, and then they've just gone back to it again.
But they were 6-0 up and rolled through Dragons last week.
Yeah,
as well.
I know. I'm not sure how do you fix this?
Well, that's what was going to be.
I mean, it's consistency, and they got to be doing it for 80 minutes. You can't be like a 40, 50-minute team anymore. You can't be that ever in the NRL.
You see it quite often where teams start really well and then they get complacent. How do you change that mindset? Because they're obviously more talented than the Dragons and the Titans, but
it's a mental thing.
Yeah,
it is, and it's not a physical thing.
Yeah.
They're out there. They're a bunch of animals. The Warriors, when
they're on,
stats
are still good.
Stats are great. Everyone's playing good individually. It's not playing good as a team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you have a look at all these guys' individual stats, like Fanua Blake and all these sort of guys did. They kill it. They're killing it, but somehow they're falling apart.
They're currently on 7 points. They've had 3 wins. They had the draw against Manly, which could be crucial by the end of the season. It's actually serving Manly really well because they're currently in 4th over the Broncos with the extra point as well. Because I'm for and against. Oh, yeah, for and against them. Yeah, 39. So they've got to get themselves going. But yeah, we always like to start on the positive in the team that's travelling well. AJ Brimson was my dog of the week. I think you agree. He was outstanding.
Yeah.
He has to stay at fullback. What about Foz? Like, he looks every bit. You see the comment there? He looks every bit of 33 at the moment.
Every day.
But when he, you can never doubt when he's healthy, he turns up consistently for this team, and that's a negative and a positive. The fact that the 33-year-old guy that's done everything in the game, that's clearly battered and bruised, is throwing his body into the games and competing on every play. How does that not make you want to just fucking die for Foz at the moment? Because they, like I said, I think they deserved the win last week against Manly, but they just fell short.
They've been competing for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, Canberra Raiders.
We said it last week. It was just a matter of time before you get a bit of luck like this.
Didn't think it was against the Warriors.
I didn't think it was going to be over there as well on Anzac Day.
Yeah,
it means a lot to everyone. But Fozzie is that dude, mate. He's a gun. I just imagine you always look and go, fuck. Imagine if he had no injuries. He's had a dream run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like fuck, he'd be easily Hall of Famer, mate. Like and as you said before, like. Every other player should be looking at him and going, fucking, his whole body is strapped together and he's out here putting his body in front of Fanua Blakes and fucking Barnetts and all these guys. And maybe I should do that.
He's a warrior.
Maybe it's rubbing off on him.
He's a warrior. And he's been through so much.
Mate.
Like his body. I remember there was a time when I come back. It might have been when I was overseas and I come back and caught up with him for a coffee. And there was genuine, this would have been maybe 16, 17. And he had some off-field stuff that he was dealing with.
Yeah.
But for the most part, his back and his body was fucking breaking down on him. And to still see him doing this in 2024, it's a credit to him,
Sorry,
mate.
2015 we played with him and he wasn't getting through any weeks of didn't get through a full week.
Mate, I'm not joking, mate. We had a conversation over coffee and he's like,
9 years ago.
I might have to retire. This is like 16 or 17. So the year after, right? That's how it all started leading into it.
He's an animal.
He's just an absolute animal. Another question for you with the Titans. Do you think David Fafita asked to come off the bench?
Oh, fucking hopefully not. He wouldn't, would he?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it bothers him.
I don't think it bothers him at all because you don't have to cop all the massive hits.
And then he just destroys team.
It's a tactic, mate. He's so explosive and damaging. You let that 15 to 20 minutes go and it does die down a bit, the intensity.
For sure.
And then you put that human on who's just a wrecking ball. Now he's got his confidence back and he's sort of playing a lot more minutes, a lot more consistent. He can it's a tactic, right? I'm like, because you can nullify him at the start of games, right? Doesn't matter how hard he runs, you're still putting 2 or 3 in every tackle.
Yep. Everyone's pumped up, everyone's fresh.
Yeah, the 20 minutes, it's like, okay, then you're going to start getting your one-on-ones. People are going to start falling off when the Fanua Blakes are still on that first half and Barnett and all these other guys.
Yep.
He's just terrorising your middle, so it works both ways.
And also, I don't think he's an 80-minute footballer.
No, he's a 60-minute.
But you have to be on at the end of the game. So if you don't start the first 20,
it's a tactic.
Then you get him at the back end when it counts.
It's a tactic.
It's a tactic.
Pretty good tactic.
And there's part of me that thinks he's actually doesn't mind, or he's a part of.
I think he's
maybe.
We don't have to cop all these hits at the start.
Yeah, I just think he just wants to tear people up when he basically comes on at 20.
It's part of the game. It's a tactic, mate. If we all had David Fafita, you'd be like, okay, we can get a Fermor or something like that to cop all these fucking hits.
Yep.
Or all these other guys. You just come on after like 15 minutes, dies down a bit, go through them, son.
Who have they got? So Cleese Haas started. They moved, I think maybe a guy like Jamin Jolliffe into the middle.
Yeah, they just
something like that.
They can make do for 20 minutes.
For sure.
A lot of teams can just hold the fort for 20.
Yep.
Get the big boy on.
Generally, it's a front row. Like the Tomalolo, right? We'll talk about the Cowboys in a bit. He looks so much better off the bench.
Just that's the difference, right?
So he's on the bench.
So the intensity at the start of the games is fucking unbelievable, right?
Yep.
It does die down a little bit after the 20-minute mark.
Parramatta, Junior Bolo off the bench. He's been playing a lot better. Didn't have a great game on the weekend because the only thing time it hurts you is when you come off and then obviously you don't have momentum and you're still just going to be equally as
optically,
gassed.
we're looking at it going, why does he look? He looks so fast. His leg speed looks way different because it's slowed down a little bit. And you're up there.
All right, mate. What about the Warriors though? So I thought the Rocco Berry could have had 2. There was a bit of a 50-50 call. But at the end of the day, like we said before, they had so much possession. It felt like they were in the 20-metre line or attacking for 20 minutes at the end. Couldn't quite ice it.
What do you think? Like usually is their back rollers running the right lines? Are they running the right plays near the line?
Yeah, I think they are. I think just the added
Or are they just
pressure.
relying on Fanua Blake to go through all the time?
I think it's the added pressure of expectation now.
Yeah, right.
I think for the first year, they were everyone's second favourite team. And now everyone sees them as a genuine threat. And then because of that, there's expectations now from the fans and from the rest of the NRL. And they're just feeling that pinch of like, all right,
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
we should be better than where we are right now. And it's not happening and we're getting frustrated.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. I can't go any better than that. It just looks like they just look frustrated when they get down there. They get out of yardage easy because of their back five or just a bunch of animals. When they just get into that red zone, it's like, how do we pull the trigger?
It's
right?
not like Sean's not controlling the game as well.
No,
They're
it's
kicking the
a
corners
really
well.
weird team to sort of go, what's fucking wrong?
Yeah.
It's just not happening just a little bit. They're not far off.
Yeah.
They are not far off. So, like, that's when coaching comes into it. Just look at the video a little bit and go, we're just going to need to fucking nail it a little bit better. And then we'll get the wins.
Re-established the belief. I thought Chance Nickel-Klogstad was outstanding,
They're all
by the way.
fucking good. I can't
Game
look
one.
at it and go, he played awful.
Yeah.
Johnson played awful. Fanua Blake played awful. They're not going forward enough. The back five's getting belted. Like, they're kicking games bad. None of that. So that's what you got to look at as a coach and go, these are all the fucking things that we're doing good. Keep the confidence up here because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The work's done.
Adam scores 2 tries. We mentioned that. I wrote down, is he the best attacking prop of all time? Like out-and-out prop. I don't put you on that category because you played edge back row as well. So you got the movements of a back rower.
Yeah,
He doesn't play anything but prop. He has 28 tries in total, but he's had 9 last year, and that puts him on 4 for this year. Mace, he's only still 28.
Yeah, he's really come into his own as probably the best. He's easily the best attacking prop, I reckon.
Yeah, in the game right now.
Yeah, because he's got movement, man. Like, he moves with the ball. He's smart, man. He's smart.
he
His
is.
hips are smart. He moves with the ball. Like, him and Egan have got such a great relationship. He knows exactly what lines to run. Like, he's not dumb. He knows exactly what to do.
I think that's an underrated part of it as well. Like, he's obviously got nice skill set, nice footwork, but his IQ of the way he moves his body subtly, like the Dylan Walker try where he runs the outline. I think someone comes up and makes a poor read and opens up the gap. But instead of just running straight into the defender, he just so effortlessly just glides into the spot where I think it might have been David Fafita left the spot.
And there's a couple of things just off normal block plays, right? So just say, like, the lead guy will be there, and just say sometimes the guy out the back, he's like straight out the back, so his hips are going sideways. He's very square. So when he gets the ball, so the lead runner is going through, he can guide with the ball. So he's going straight. So you could go out or in on this guy, and he'll figure out where to get you.
Yeah.
Because he's going straight. He's not running this way like most guys do out the back.
Yeah.
He straightens his fucking hips up and he'll cut straight on your inside shoulder.
Yeah.
That's the little things that a lot of young props don't get. He gets it.
I think, you've got to, obviously you've got to have the base
A little
for
bit
it.
of depth, mate.
The reason, like for me, I used to run really hard in is because I was trying to avoid that outside in defender, right?
Yeah.
So I used to run real sharp. So if I did get clipped, it softens the blow. But because he's got so good, his stability is so good and his core strength is so well, he can run straight. Therefore, as that outside defender, realistically, they should be able to lick him. But because he's so dangerous, they don't. They still hesitate and they don't.
And because they've got a little bit of diversion out the back of him as well.
Yeah.
So they've got that block shape here. He's sitting here, there, and then they've still got that guy out the back as well. So you're like, fuck, what are you doing? And he's targeting 3-man, right?
Yep.
Or the 4-man. So you're like, what am I going to do?
Sometimes he just does it in the middle,
Just
bro.
doesn't care. Like, he's right. He's either right there, but when he gets a little bit wider and he scored a couple of tries early on in the year, he's targeting the 4 and 3-man because you're looking out the back at like Klokstad or something like that,
Yeah,
or whoever's playing
Shawnee.
fullback, or Shawnee or something. They've got so much diversion out there. They just need to nail a couple of those plays and do it all the time.
I think it must be just more defensively because their attack's fine, but they need to get the defense
you're
going.
right. I haven't really looked at that.
Yep.
Not too much. I keep focusing on their attack.
It's because
Obviously, they're
I get,
defending shit.
I think we're expecting them to score more and be shutting teams out and blowing them out. And they maybe got to change that mentality.
Yeah.
Let's be happy to win 18-16, 18-14.
We'll break a lot of these games down. There's a lot of bad defense
Yeah.
this month.
Well,
This week, I mean.
let's talk about bad defense and actually, next game was just as bad, and probably the last game was probably
Anzac
worse.
Day was bad defensively.
Thursday, 4 p.m. The Roosters defeat the Dragons 60-18. What a statement from JWH right off the kickoff. I will say, for Moses Sully, Jaden Seward didn't help him.
Bumped him straight into him.
All this chat around the kickoffs, obviously, this highlights it again.
You know where it's coming from?
Where?
Journos.
Yeah.
Because they would know.
But also, it doesn't help when on our probably the biggest game of the round, Anzac Day, we get this on the very first kickoff. And I think I'm with you, mate. Like, I love the kickoffs and I don't want to go on anywhere. But, geez, Jaden Seward didn't help Sully. Sully looked like he's ready to go, and obviously he's going to brace, and it was a great carry from Jared, and he really set the tone for his team, and that was his best performance of the year for me.
Yeah.
Actually, he was really good in his 300th, but Jaden Seward just clips him last minute, and he gets his head in a position and just gets
I
laid
just fucking
out.
hate how they're trying to control this narrative, trying to stop kickoffs. It's only coming from journos, and obviously it's coming from the higher ups to say, start plugging this, start saying this, so I can get it out there.
And you think it's eventually going to happen
Fucking
then?
shut up. It's a massive part of our game, the kickoffs. Get some responsibility on your tackle tech. What are you doing fucking running so upright when Hargraves is right there? Or you got two people like right fucking shoulder to shoulder. Get it right.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, mate, a kickoffs that I've taken or fucking been involved in never got knocked out.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that did get knocked out. Because
Yeah,
tackle tech was fucking very important. Because you knew that collision is one of the biggest in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Why is it happening more now?
I don't think it's necessarily happening more now. I think it's just highlighted more now. So
Dudes are getting flattened.
yeah.
Flattened this year. There's been about 2 or 3 that have been fucking coming in, wrong tackle tech, shoulder to the head, out.
Yeah, so
I've never seen that. When I played, no one ever got done like that.
we just said 2 or 3, Mace, and I agree.
But I'm just saying,
How many tackles are in a game?
my whole career, I've never seen blokes just getting laid out like that on a kickoff.
Yeah. I can obviously remember.
Because fucking tackle tech was you just wouldn't. I would never go at a dude and try and be upright like this.
Yeah.
Like especially if I was 5'10".
Yeah. But think about remember Spud Carroll and Paul Harrigan. But
Fucking 90s.
But I'm agreeing with you,
Yeah.
right? So that's 3 tackles this year. How many tackles are in a game? It's less than 0.0001% or whatever it might be. So, I think it's when you sign up to play rugby league, you sign up to play a contact sport. Everyone is aware of the dangers. They're doing a great job of eradicating or making sure that we're looking after the players. In the past, 5-6 years ago, Moses Sully might have still played the game. And so we're taking the right steps to
great that they're doing
get that out of the game.
But they just needed the little things. Like if you break down every single tackle that has been a case like this where guys are out, it's the tackle tech. It's the little these 3 people are in 1 meter of space. Something's going to go wrong. No one's dipping at all. No one's hitting the ball. Everyone's just trying to crash each other into the middle there. Like something's going to go wrong.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like you don't need 3 or 4 tackles on one guy.
No. You know what it reminded me of? Remember that game? It was a bit chaotic. How obviously Anzac Day is a big game, very emotional. Just like not to the level of an Origin, but remember when everyone just tackle tech goes out the window and they just throw their bodies?
Yeah.
It was sort of that sort
That's
of
what
moment,
it looks
right?
like.
Yeah. So when in big games, when there's a lot of anxiety and there's more meaning to it, players just end up going, fuck it, and you've still got to be smart. You can come up with a
Gotta
big
be
play.
smart, mate.
But what a carry.
Especially this side, especially on that side. So just say you see Hargraves, just say I'm on his left. That's my shot, right? And then you got Sully in the middle, and then you got Jaden Seward. He coming from the other side trying to blind shot him, which pushed Sully right into the fucking target zone. That's what happened. If you get your fucking shit sorted, that should not happen. This guy I'm on your left side. I'm hitting the ball because he's a right arm carry. Bang, hits there. Fucking Sully gets the bottom, and then Seward might have to come around the other side. Maybe.
Yeah.
You only need 2.
I think Sully was in a good position.
He was in a great position. He got fucking bumped and bang. It was like, fuck, mate, you can fix that shit up.
Yep. Let's get to some positives. Sam Walker was pretty good, mate.
He's great.
Nearly a 10 out of 10. Short kicking game. The one part that I loved about it, and we've talked about it now for a couple of weeks, and Luke Keary was really good too, by the way. Everyone was good. When they're on the front foot like this is the Roosters. This is why I get critical on the Roosters. The reason I get critical on the Roosters sometimes, mates, I don't think there's enough people that do. Like, media, for whatever reason, don't get on the Roosters. And it's obviously because they've got the runs on the board, they've got a strong coach, they've got really strong ownership. But for the most part, this is why the lineup is too good. And when they perform like this, it almost vindicates me, because this is what I expect for a Roosters team against the Dragons. Now, 60-18 is probably a bit too much, but I expect a Roosters to win this game 9 times out of 10, 30-10, 30-14 on talent. And obviously Sam Walker was great, but the part that I loved about it the most was there was a moment, it wasn't even a try. The game was flowing, Sammy Walker's on fire, he's feeling himself. He just gets a repeat set, but he ran in front of Luke Keary to get it. So I think it might have been in the second half or the back end of the first half. Luke Keary standing there at 7. Sammy sweeps from sort of the middle of the field, grabs the ball, puts in a little grubber kick, repeats that. And I was like, hey, Sammy's starting to go like, if we're remember what I said about Lockie Ilias a couple of weeks ago? He should be playing with house money. There's a part of me that thinks Sammy Walker's going, all right, if people are going to criticise me in my performance for the Roosters, then I might as well just leave it all out there. And if I miss a little chip kick, or even the kick on the first for Joey Manu's try, like that's a bit right. That's instinctual, and that could go the wrong way where the teammates blow up at him. But he's living and dying by the sword, and he played outstanding.
You know what I find out with a lot of young sevens being under the pump, Ilias and Sam Walker?
Yep.
What's in common? What's the same common denominator?
Yep.
Dominant locks.
Good point.
Dominant locks that get a lion's share of the ball. They're all trying to play like Penrith, like Isaiah Yeo.
Good point.
You know what I mean? So, like, you got your Victor Radley gets the fucking ball whenever he wants, right? Victor, guess what? Guess who didn't play on the weekend?
No,
Victor Radley. Look how flat and fast they played. They wore off the back of cheese. You know what I mean? Like Sam Walker getting the ball whenever he wants. So whenever it gets the ball to Victor Radley, always gets that block shape. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying Cam Murray always gets that block shape. Just takes a 7 out of the game. He has to stay on that right side of the field. So every time Cam Murray gets the ball, he's got a lead. He's got the fullback at the back, or he's got Cody Walker.
Yep.
It's never the 7. The 7 has to hold on the other side and just fucking twiddle his thumbs.
Play a wide forward.
Yeah, play the wide forward when you never get the fucking ball.
Yeah.
It's just a wide ball to the lock.
Great point.
It's a
really
wide ball
point.
to the lock. The lock gets the ball, plays that block. It's fucking easy to defend. Teams are reading it so easy now. Sam Walker you got Connor Watson, flat and fast. Brandon Smith just goes. They just fucking pound through the middle. Joey Marnie gets the ball whenever the fuck he wants. Teddy, boom, boom, boom. It's never slowed down for that block shape. That's what happens.
I love it. When you think about Penrith, and I'm thinking about Penrith as you're going on this, Mace, there is a clear-cut hierarchy at Penrith that it is Isaiah Yeo and Nathan Cleary that run the team. And Jerome's happy to play third, fourth fiddle. But if you're Sam Walker and you're not happy to play, or a Lockie Ilias, or you want to be more ball dominant, or you get criticised for not getting the ball, then that becomes a problem. You've nailed it.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great one. And I'm just trying to
There's no disrespect to Victor Radley or Cam Murray, because they're some of the best players in the game. But like sometimes everybody just tries to copy and paste the best team in the comp.
Yep.
And it's Penrith, where everyone tried to do it with fucking Ryan Hoffman on that left edge with Billy Slater out the back, all this shit with Storm. It don't fucking work if you ain't got Billy Slater.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? This shit ain't going to work when you ain't got GI as your fucking left centre and Israel Folau and Hoffman. Hoffman's hitting holes like that because he's got so much diversion. Cooper Cronk, then Widdop, and then Hoffman, and then Billy, and then fucking GI, and then fucking Israel Folau. Stop it.
Yeah.
If you don't have that left edge coaches, do your own plays.
I don't know if they all played together at the one
They
time,
did.
but it sounds like a pretty good lineup.
They did 1 or 2 years. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was crazy. I remember playing against them. It was awful.
Far out. Yeah,
So that's
mate.
That's my take on the Roosters.
That's
and all
a really
these
good take.
And even the Souths and all those. It's just like the locks. Everyone they're trying to just overplay it.
Yeah, and Victor Radley and Cameron Murray are good enough players to go.
Fucking take the ball yourself.
Every now and again, run the shape, but for the betterment of the team, roll the sleeves up, go forward.
Look how the other teams play it with. You've got locks like Taumalolo was that lock. Just fucking ran the ball, did a couple of block shapes every now and again, but he give you 200 of the best.
Yeah,
dominate through the middle.
Yep.
You know, look at Brisbane. Brisbane do it the best when they got all three running. They got Payne Haas, then they got Jensen. Carrigan's a runner. He will ball play if he has to play on a certain play, but it's not all the fucking time.
I would say Paddy Carrigan got a bit ball playing happy last year.
Yeah.
I reckon he's playing way more direct this year.
And he's passing when he has to, and if it's a play that's
Yes.
on for him and he can run it because he's always fit enough to be in that position, then he'll pass. If
Yep.
not, he's just digging in and running.
You're right. He's got a good balance. I reckon he was more at
Same
50-50.
Same as Joey now as well, because last year we tried to do that against New South Wales. It's like, dude, you're just as good, just being fucking. You're getting the lion's share of the ball as well in the middle.
Yeah.
Dummy, go. You're getting in good shape. Jam it in behind the ruck. Like he knows he's nailed that position. Joey.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's what everyone is trying to.
Yeah. Trying to replicate and trying to copy
replicate.
off Penrith.
Yep. Fuck, that's a really good point, mate. What else has we got? So with quickly on the Roosters, even though it was a really good performance, they've got the Broncos coming up on Friday. Huge game. That's going to be massive.
Yeah.
They obviously the round 0 game and got the job done against the Bronx. Then they played the Warriors and the Sharks. So a really big 3 games coming up for Roosters. We'll find out what Roosters team we have after the Sharks game.
If they can go 2-1, they'll be all right.
That'd be a great result
Yep.
for them, and they'll be well and truly be back as proper contenders for me if
Yeah.
they can do that. I thought even in a badly beaten team, Lomax still showed class. He's still in my Origin team. He's not in your Origin team, is he?
Not really.
No.
I mean, like, I think he's a good player. Like, just because he's, does he warrant taking Fox's position? Does he warrant taking
good question.
Suolii's? You know what I mean? Just because he's good under the high ball and everything like
Suaalii hasn't even played for Origin.
that.
yet. But
he's
been tossed up as an option, a genuine option.
a couple of things where Lomax come out of yardage there trying to push that ball. I don't like that sort of stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Like, he obviously has a
Little
couple
things
of
like
bad moments. You can't afford to do that in Origin.
No.
And
He
I feel like he's the sort of personality that could take on an Origin game, but Origin, you'd know better than anyone, comes down to moments, and you can't afford to do that, can you?
No, little things like that. But I'm not going to say don't pick him in Origin because he tried to push a pass and
He had a bad 20 minutes.
Benny Hunt dropped it. If the bounce of the ball had it went in Benny Hunt's fucking hands, nothing would have happened. So no one would have been talking about this. But like Fox has been playing some good football. He plays good in Origin.
Yeah,
he's an Origin player. That's what I mean. Let's just not pick on. Oh, he's not playing that good for the Bulldogs or whatever
Well, he
club
is,
team.
actually.
He's
Yeah.
playing unreal for the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
I'm saying
so-
so he had a really good Origin series last year.
Yep.
So I'm like, wasn't the reason why we lost because of Fox.
Yep, I agree.
Does Lomax come in there just because he's had a good start to the year and he doesn't say he's a winger, he's a centre?
Yeah,
And you
it
put
doesn't
him on, you put him
necessarily
on the wing. Like,
I'm a Lomax fan
Yeah.
this year, but doesn't necessarily mean that he's
No.
he's the favourite.
I mean, if they pick Suaalii, pick him.
Yep.
We just got to pick the right people for that jersey.
Yeah, I agree on
That's
that.
what we need to do. Like, let's not pick on the media and all that kind of stuff. Let's not pick that. You got to fit into that Blues jersey.
Yeah, he's here this year.
Yeah.
Who cares if he's
Doesn't
going
matter what
to
he's
rugby
doing. If
next year?
he's the man for the job, if Madge thinks he's the man for the job, he's trying to set a new standard for that jersey.
Yeah.
And if he wants Suaalii in the side, if he wants Lomax, if he wants Fox, they're going to be in the team.
Imagine Suaalii and Toto's play
Pretty
one,
sure
play
he's
one,
going
play
to
two
be a
carry.
fucking gun winger.
Yeah. I just think for the Dragons, it's one of those ones that just got ugly. They couldn't bring it back. Wipe, no review, one of those ones, or
got
short
ugly,
review, move on. They got the Sharks next week.
Yeah.
Huge game. Flano had a little shot at the Sharks and said,
It'll be a good game.
yeah, he basically said, oh, they haven't
What'd
won
he say? What'd he
he goes, they haven't won a comp since 2006.
Oh, so he said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Very
petty. I love it. I
Very
love it, Flano.
sarcastically. I love Flano.
I love it.
They're a candidate for a strong bounce back. I think that game will be another cracker as well. So the Dragons versus Sharks, I'm really looking forward to that. The Storm defeated the Rabbitohs 54-20. We were umming and ahhing or trying to figure out the injury. Remember, osteopubis. That's what Money's dealing with, and it's a very tricky one. But he showed no signs of that on Anzac Day. 1 try and 4 try assists plus 127 meters. And I was watching this on Channel 9, mate. I don't know about you. And Joey talked about catching the ball all in one motion and finding Xavier Coates for, I think it was his second try.
That left foot, eh?
That movement that he's got, this is why, he's been quiet, Money, now. I think he's, last year he had such a big 2022, 20 to 22 period that he set himself these high expectations. And there's a change into the guard happening in Melbourne. And although they're elite players, they haven't cemented themselves as the guys yet at Melbourne. But they have an opportunity to do something special this year, this Melbourne team. And I think, Jerome's been outstanding. Pappy looks like he's back.
He's back.
Harry's the skipper.
They're
This
good. They're good.
team goes as far as money.
Yeah. Oh, he's the king.
He's the X factor.
Yeah, easily, mate. They've got the forwards can match any forward pack. The backs can do it if it's an aerial assault. They can match that. They got X factor. Harry Grant, Pap, Money, Jerome. Got size, King, Big Nas, Kamikamitha, Welsh. Fuck, mate.
For me, I've still got Broncos and Penrith as tier 1.
They're third.
Yeah, they're the next day. They're the team that
They're Manly. I'm put Manly there now.
Sharks.
And Sharks, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, there. Then Warriors would have been there if they won the last 2 games.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's a fucking really good competition at the moment. But I guess the best part about Melbourne is now it'll be frustrating for Craig Bellamy. Yeah, they put up 54 points, but he'll be furious with the 20 points, right? They went on
They nearly come back.
They scored 3 tries in a row, right? Or 2 tries in a row. That'll be frustrating for Bellamy. But what it does show is they can win games in multiple ways. They can have high scoring affairs, or they
talked about this.
They beat
we?
Penrith
Did we
8-0.
not talk about this? When
Yeah.
this might be the one when they put 50 on.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
They would be filthy on the 20. It would have been 54-6 would have pleased Belly.
Yeah.
Because that's what it should have been.
Yes, it should have.
Yeah.
It should have. You know,
But they
you know,
scored some good tries,
You
man.
talked about their forwards. The focal point of their attack right now for the forwards is Ali Katoa. That's where they build a lot of their momentum, isn't it?
He looks fit,
Yeah.
motivated, confident. That's the kid that you want. That's the kid that first started with the Warriors.
Yeah.
And they've got it. It was always going to happen. Where's he
Yeah.
going? Melbourne? Well, he's going to be one of the best back rows in the comp.
And Sean Ball's looking really good on the other edge. Joe Chan.
Look good. Channy looks good coming off the bench.
Yep.
Try at the end.
I think he's more. I think I prefer to see Chan on the edge and Blore, but I can understand.
Yeah, it'd be good, but he'd be good, like, you know, because
Couple big hits.
HIAs happen, man.
Yep.
And it does, especially on the edge, because they're fucking right in the middle of those collisions a lot.
It's good to have a player that can play left edge, or probably edge is his best position, but play middle as
He
well.
can play anywhere. I think he's
Yeah.
good. He's aggressive too.
The Rabbitohs, mate, they gave us a little burst. Jai Grays look pretty good. He'll get an opportunity to compete for that spot for one more week while Latrell sits on the sidelines for this week. You know what? Like, it felt like he got 20 metres every time they shifted the ball. So they got that real beautiful shape where they go edge to edge. Obviously, Cam Murray's on ball, sweeps out the back to Cody Walker. And instead of Latrell finding Alex Johnson in the pass, Jai Gray would just get it out the back. Everyone's backing off. The Storm kept on backing off. He just kept on taking the metres.
It's good because no one's really got that much tape on him.
Yeah.
When you're looking at it going, what's he doing? Like he's fast. He's a little mighty mouse around the back there. You don't know what he's got. You don't know what he's going to do. Is he right foot, left to right, pass right to left? They've been doing a little bit of him. There wouldn't be that much footage of him.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to defend him on an edge and make a strong decision because you're worried about getting beaten.
Yeah.
He's so nippy
Yeah.
and low center of gravity. Like if you're Xavier Coates and Will Warbrick, you're 6'3" or above. You got to make a strong decision. He can easily dust you. It's a bit like Pappy.
Quick, man.
A bit like Pappy out
He's-
the back.
He's thick too. He's solid. Be a good player. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Bring Latrell back and does he go straight back at fullback? Or
I think so.
Jai Gray just keeps if he plays like he'd have to play outstanding this week to keep Latrell out or make those guys move him to the left centre.
What about
And a little bit Jack.
what about a super sub number 14 when Latrell comes back? So
That kid, yeah.
Latrell goes back to fullback, and if they have any dramas, maybe they bring him off the bench, move him
Who is
around.
their super sub at the moment?
Not really
The
anyone.
young kid, the little hooker.
Mamazoulis and Havili, but Havili can play front row middle.
Too many spot players in that team.
Yeah, well, they've moved Kalomantangi to the middle. I think it was to stiffen up the middle, but then they lose his power. He's the only genuine edge back row that they've got in their team that's causing any dramas. So,
What about that Tane Milne thing at the end? What was he
stupid
thinking there,
for
man?
Tane. I see
I
Tane
like him,
around
but
a fair bit.
like you could have blown his knee out.
Yeah, that was
Like, the
dumb.
intent there is terrible. I hate seeing that shit, man.
You know what it was? It was frustration
I know because he got smoked. Fucking what's his name? They scored about 5 tries down his edge.
and that, but also I watched it closely. There were a couple of times that
second
him and
ago.
Munster had a bit of push and shove throughout the game. So he was getting frustrated. The team's losing. They're not playing well. And him and Money were having a run in. It doesn't. I hated it. It was an ugly fucking play.
It's ugly, wasn't it?
But,
What is he? What happens there?
He's going to get minimum 3 weeks,
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. I'll find out,
Fucking
Lukey.
3 seconds ago.
Can you find? Yeah, it was stupid. Lukey, you there? Oh yeah, sweet. I couldn't see you there in the background. Can you find out about Tane Milne for us and what his suspension is looking like?
And what would be the charge? Reckless.
It's cannonball.
Yeah, cannonball.
That's a cannonball.
It
tackle.
is.
It was a classic cannonball.
I just think of the worst case scenario and the intent that he went in with.
Yep.
bro, come on, man. Like, that needs to be out of our game.
Yeah.
Leave it up to the judiciary to fucking serve out what what he should get. Because
Is
that
that-
shit is. If you just think of the worst case scenario, Cam Munster blows his ACL out
Yeah.
for that. That's the way I look at things.
He would-
like
he
that.
would have got
It is
multiple
unbelievable.
weeks.
But I'm just saying like that. But the intent was to do something like that.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I mean. He come
was.
in with that intent.
He was
So
frustrated.
let's have a look at like
Here we go. Look, he's up.
2 weeks is what the article
I heard it
2
said
weeks?
2 weeks. It's the same as what DCE. Sorry, it's what the same charge as what DCE and Olakwatu are going to get.
Yeah,
That's what they were
right.
talking about yesterday. What a load of shit.
All right, let's talk about that game. Manly
Fucking
32 defeat Parramatta Eels 18. They're a hard read, Manly. Let's get to that. Ches and Olakwatu are looking at 2 matches with an early guilty plea. Thoughts on that tackle? During that period, they play the Raiders and Dolphins, but they've also, I think they'll be the first team or players to appeal this in a long time. They've asked for, they've got a lawyer in to look at the incident because I think they will fight it.
They should. They should. If you're going to look at it, like Olakwatu is just an absolute beast. Just flipped him, and Ches just sort of helped it go over the edge, wasn't it? Just
Yeah.
look like it
So we-
shouldn't have went that far, but because I think Olakwatu is so fucking strong, and it was just the leverage that Ches put on the end of it. Ches doesn't deserve to even be in that tackle.
It was super dangerous
He was
because
at
of the
the end when you
position that
look
he
at
got to.
the last bit.
Yes.
that's like ooh.
But unlike the Tane Milne incident, it was an accident. It was clearly an accident. Like
No
obviously
intent, no intent at all.
the intent was to get him on his back, but because of Chez's hip movements,
Yeah.
it throws the tackle off, and Olakwatu loses his grip and actually sends him over. Now,
Yeah.
I agree, but I also think because Olakwatu was also given 10 for an accidental incident, and this is just in the Manly coming out of me, I think 1 game each is sufficient.
Yeah. I think Ches probably, I mean, he was involved in the tackle, but I just thought he did nothing with that tackle.
But even if you do make a mistake, right?
Yeah,
Mace,
no, you got to own it. Maybe
Yeah.
one each.
Yeah, I think one each is
Or a
right.
fine. I'd be happy with fines.
Yeah, no, I
Doubt it's going to happen.
no,
but-
same. I
What did
think
Olakwatu get 10 for right in the first 5 minutes?
that was it. Yeah, that was it.
No, was that it?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay, was that?
But Ches
that
didn't
early?
get anything. So the bunker looked at it. They didn't associate any blame with Ches.
Yeah.
But now the match review have looked at it and they've gone, Ches, you were involved in the tackle.
I'm thinking Olakwatu would just get 1. Ches might get off. They should be happy with that.
I'll be
happy
so-
with that.
Yeah,
if you're
but-
Manly.
Oh, you'd be stoked.
Oh, and I think that's what's going to. I think that should be it.
But I don't think it will happen because
And it is Manly.
when was the last time? Hardly anyone gets off anymore, mate. It's so hard to get off.
Stupid.
So
It's a waste of time.
I,
Tried it.
I think they'll be looking at 2 match, and if they fight it, it could be 3 each.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's yeah. What about Manly? They're a hard team to read. Like they're missing something. They're not like you just said. They're a team that can contend with. I think they're below Melbourne, even though they're
They
sitting
are
in 4th.
in the second tier.
I think they're 3rd tier.
Third tier. Who's your second tier?
I got Melbourne and Sharks.
Oh, you just got 2 in your second tier.
Yeah, yeah. I got Broncos and Penrith as a team to beat. Still,
yeah.
I got the consistency that the Sharks and Storm
Melbourne
have shown.
Storm.
They're going to be very hard to beat because they're not going to beat themselves this year. Specifically, we all know that from the Storm, but the Sharks, we've definitely seen that this year. And I've got egg on my face for the Sharks too, by the way. And I think
They could fall off.
on the outside, you've got teams like Manly, Warriors. Who else is thereabouts? I'll look at the ladder here. I'll get
That's
the ladder.
about
up.
it. They're my top teams.
Roosters.
Yeah, Roosters. Yeah, Roosters.
Roosters, Cowboys.
They're all down.
Yeah.
I'd only put the Roosters up there at the moment, right now.
And the teams that I think that are doing well that, could be thereabouts at the end of the year, but probably not genuine contenders, the Dolphins, Bulldogs. Raiders are going to really struggle now without Fogarty, it looks like.
Yep.
But yeah, they're a hard read, Manly. They're missing something for me.
What do you think it is?
I think it's maybe the emergence, or if Matt Lodge and Nathan Brown can be a real X factor. Like I know Matt Lodge has missed a lot of footy recently, and
yeah,
Nathan,
but he's not missing. The head of hair now.
the hair's looking
It looks
gross.
good.
The hair is looking gross.
Looking good, Lodgy.
It's made a great comeback. Now, hopefully, that comeback can also lead to a return of really strong form because, like we said, how important a bench is now with
Yeah.
David Fafita, Jason Tomolai. So, Paseka and Alawai do a great job. Also, T. Sipley could be back this week as well. But, yeah, if Lodge and Nathan Brown
Well, no, Brown's been an X factor off the bench.
Yeah, he has.
Lodge just needs to get that. But as I said, like, he's coming back from an ACL.
Yeah.
It's going to take him probably till the end of the year, later on in the year, to start getting that real proper leg drive back.
Yeah.
But you're going to have Sipley and all these other guys trying to get those bench spots as well, because they're going to be a finals team, and you don't know how far they can go. If they catch a bit of fire, they can beat anyone on their day.
Yeah.
They've got that strike power.
They do. They can.
You do have Turbo. You got Kolu. They've got some guns, man. Proper guns.
My criticism or my pushback with Manly is, I think they could get to, say, a top 4 and potentially beat
Maybe
Melbourne. Probably, could beat Broncos, could beat Penrith on their day. But it wouldn't surprise me if they finish 5th and lose to the Dogs week 1, or lose to fucking whoever scrapes in at 8, the Dolphins. Like, that's the sort of team they are.
That is. I'm not looking at them going, they can challenge for it. They need everything right, and everybody playing at their peak. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
But something is just doesn't put them up there with the Brisbane. When we'll get to the Brisbane game, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That is dangerous.
I'm with you.
What do you think of
Sevo?
No, just the Eels in general, right? Like, there's something missing there.
Yeah, they've got more issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Sevo, what are you thinking? Putting 3 elbows on his head?
No, he was their best player and worst player all in 70 minutes. Scores 3 tries. It's super frustrating. I reckon there would be, again, it's like Tane Milne, right? Different circumstances, but frustration. He got dropped for 2 weeks. He's clearly hampered by an injury.
Yeah.
See the way he's hobbling around out there? Like he's on one leg.
Get some physio, Sevo.
But he still scores 3 tries.
Yeah.
And like both Brad and Gutho were critical of him in the post-match.
Yeah.
They were basically
What
said
they
it was
called
a dumb play. It was like it was a dumb
You're not
play.
going to say he's fucking a good play, are you?
Of course.
You get asked a direct question like that, you go, fucking stupid. God,
Yeah,
get me out of here.
you think, they'd obviously be critical in video, but then just play straight bat. And
You could just say we'll take care of that internally.
Yes, something like that.
Not like it was dumb, but you get caught in those moments in the presses. They try
when
and
you're
get
frustrated,
you.
yeah. Sanders looked good.
I thought, yes,
I like him.
I didn't know he was that big. I did not know he was that big. He's got a great build for a half.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I like it.
So next
I like
year
him.
it could be obviously depending on what happens with Fogarty.
He fits straight in.
It's been
Him is strange.
It's locked in. He's heading to the Raiders, mate.
Yeah. That's great. It's a great buy.
Good
That is a great
young
buy.
core to work with.
Yeah,
eh?
fucking great. He's a good player. He's good. I thought Gutho, he saved that
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
This could have been easy.
Gutho loves
I
playing
reckon
Manly, especially
could have
at
been
4
like
Pines.
a 42-ish sort of game.
Yep, I agree.
He had Turbo one-on-one. He had Kolu one-on-one. Fucking hard tackles, man.
Mate.
And he gets them all the time. His body positioning is so good. Fuck, he's battered, isn't he? Yeah, I wonder what his week to week's like. How many, like what's doing there? Draining his knee. He's got constant physio. It's like,
Because he's not physically talented like other fullbacks, he has to do everything on like sheer will.
fucking goes hard, man.
And he goes hard and he puts his body on the line, and you can tell like he loves playing at 4 Pines. He's Manly
manly
through and
boy,
through.
man.
And he still lives there, and he feels it.
Is he still living there?
He still lives there, mate. He still lives there. He's lived there the whole time. He spends like Joey said something. He was on the footy show once, and he reckons he spends like $200 a week on tolls.
Easily.
Yeah, going back and forth each week. Now he's on good money, so he can obviously afford it. But
Well, what are you going to do?
I knew he was gonna
Move
step
out to
up.
Wentworthville? Go on. It's way better than Manly.
shout out to Northmead, where mum and dad live. Eels. They've. We'll see when Mitch Moses gets back.
They're in a slump, man. They're just going through that shit. I think they'll fight back once they get everyone back on deck. But they can't afford to lose many more because all these other teams are winning.
Let me be honest. I haven't looked at their fucking draw. They're coming up. Let's see what
They're
they
the
got.
bottom 4, aren't
Let's get that. They're not traveling well.
Yeah.
They got the bye, so they can. All right, fucking hell. They have a bye to refresh because they're going to need it, and hopefully Mitch is back for this game. But they got the Broncos after the bye. Then they got the Storm, but then they get the Rabbitohs.
That's what they were whinging about at the start of the year, that we got the hardest draw.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
You love to see
No
that
fans,
from
no
Brent.
fans were saying it.
And then the Sharks.
BA.
And then the Sharks. Well, big. Well, you know what? You know how much I love BA.
Yeah.
I think he's got a month.
You reckon he's under the pump?
I think he's got a month, mate.
Do you reckon him or JD are under the pump more?
Well, I think JD. might have more time now based off. Like, it doesn't feel like there's an answer ready right now for the coach. There's not like a clear candidate for Rabbitohs because I don't think they want Wayne to come back. I don't think they're looking at Wayne. So with Parramatta, it depends on if they have a candidate ready to go. But so they've got the bye mates, then they've got the Broncos, Storm, Rabbitohs, and Sharks. For Brad to keep his job, do you reckon they've got to go 50%? You'd give him a win.
I think he's going to keep his job anyway. As you said, it's not like there's these genius coaches out there going, "Oh, I've got these mad plays that can get us back on track." Everyone's got the same fucking plays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's up being some more accountability on the fucking players, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
but we don't live in that world, mate. And I love BA, and I think he should be the coach.
There's no genius, little schoolboy genius out there that's going to take his job.
Yeah.
Or South. Like, there's not, maybe Jason Rolls and all these guys, but they're all waiting for the perfect pitcher to come in. Doesn't happen. Trent Barrett's sitting in the wings there. Do you think he wants to be I don't know if he wants to be head coach.
No, I think
Probably
Trent Barrett's done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
coach.
there's all these, there's not that many coaches around. Like, BA's been a coach there for fucking 10 years. He's got into a grand final and everything. He's doing the right thing.
I agree. I think Brad is the correct coach for it, but I don't think we live in that world where he gets given.
Oh, no, I don't think so either.
He's currently sitting 14th.
Coming at him.
They didn't make the 8 last year. They're currently sitting 14th, and they have the Broncos and Storm coming up after the bye. It's going to be a huge month for him.
Right. But he's been on the hook for like 5 years.
know.
It feels like that, and he just keeps surviving. I'm just like,
he's a survivor.
Give up. Like that's more my point. I'm like, he's doing, I don't know, he's a decent coach. He's a great human. They all seem to love him out there. Why get rid of him? Let him get through this shit. Get a full deck of cards out there. Get Moses back. Finish the year. Then we can decide. Let's not just go off what's going on now. They're in a bit of a slump. It's around fucking 8. But I know what they're like. Parramatta.
It's Parramatta.
It is. I understand it, but I'm just like, there's no boy genius out there fucking sitting in reserve grade going, I've got all these mad plays. Yeah, let's do this. This will work. It's the same fucking plays. You just got to execute it properly and get the players on point. That's it.
Do you think Wayne would ever coach Parramatta?
They keep saying that, but I can't see him living in Kellyville.
I can't see it, Yeah. I can't see Wayne
Shout out to Kellyville.
Kellyville's nice.
I know, but I can't see him living out that far.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Broncos. They defeated the Tigers 10. I think we both walked away from this game, Mace. Super impressed with the Broncos. Man. For me, they're the team to beat. I think they...
I'm fucking there. I'm right there with you.
Me? Yeah,
I'm right there because of the simple fact that I've never seen... they just look so dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous is a great word.
All over the park, man. Now you just threw Payne Haas back in the mix. Come on, bro. That looks disgusting. Yeah. Willison coming off the bench. These fucking guys are like...
Piakura looked good at the team.
Yeah, that guy on that left edge, Payne Haas, and then you got Staggs. You got all these players that are just like... They're so dangerous.
Dean
Adam
Mariner.
Reynolds just running. Yeah, Mariner.
Yeah.
They look so dangerous for 40 minutes. It was game over. I don't care what happened at halftime. The Tigers had the biggest comeback in the world. Never going to win.
Yeah.
They were just getting through it, I suppose. That second half.
I like what Kevy said after the game. Like, he also he understood that the Tigers are much improved and they're a better team, but he knows in big games that they can't make the errors that them. Like, Dean Mariner drops that ball like right in the breadbasket. He's been really good for him too this year, and they still go on and score. There's a part of what Kevy, I guess, is trying to paraphrase for Kevy is that they've got so much talent, but they're still making very fundamental errors. And it will come back to bite him in big games if they don't fix
against Penrith.
They got the Roosters this week.
But he's probably just going back to the grand final last year. You make mistakes, you're going to get paid.
Yep.
You're going to have to pay the piper. And a team like like Penrith will do that. That's the only team that will make you fucking pay. But they look scary. That's what it was. I was like, holy shit, how do you stop that? How do you stop some of those plays? How do you stop Walsh being like that?
There's some plays that they run where it's just like, it doesn't matter what defensive scheme you've got, you just don't have the talent to stop them.
If you don't have a 3-man as fast as Walsh, you're done. You never
have the talent.
You never do.
No one's got it.
No one's got the talent that they have. They're the most talented team in the comp.
Yes. And if they execute...
It's disgusting.
If you've got to hope they make an error on some plays.
It's unstoppable. You can't, you have to have the best defense. The only defense that can stop it is those guys out the foot of the mountains. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking. I just looked at that game last night. I know it was the Tigers. Tigers are still, they're a mediocre team, but like, fuck, they just made them look like a proper wooden spooner.
Yeah.
In half a game.
Yeah.
In half a game.
And Tigers were like fighting. They were clawing.
They were up. They were working hard
Yeah.
in defense. They weren't having plays off. They just got beaten by a way better team and way more talented team.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Walsh, man, that is so scary. I haven't seen anyone like that since like a Matty Bowen or a Billy Slater in their prime. They're just fucking carving you up whenever he wanted to. Like, you better put bodies on him.
He's a combination of both.
Yeah,
bro.
man, I said that.
Yeah, you
Hey,
did.
I said that last year or something. Oh, fuck off. I said,
Yeah.
oh, okay, you would.
Everyone's
know,
like,
wouldn't you?
that's high praise. And I'm
That's
like,
right, bro. Yeah, well, what are you seeing now?
Yeah.
A fucking little nuggety Matty Bowen with Billy Slater's skills and pace. That's what it is. It's a hybrid.
It is.
It's a hybrid.
He's
I
a
said it
proper hybrid.
Said it 18 months ago. That's what it is. He's 21. He's only getting better. And the skill set is higher. The skill set's Matty Bowen. The pace and the movement is Billy Slater.
yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If you can't see that, you don't know rugby league.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Jordan Ricky, Tony Staggs, very underrated part of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, man.
Adam Reynolds is obviously he's the little general in the middle,
Yeah.
and he's got everything on the string, kicking teams to death. But he said it after he highlighted in the presser as well. My kick is only as good as my chase, and Jordan Ricky and Katoni
He's the best.
Staggs on play 1 and 2 at the moment. Got to give
Ricky's
shout
good,
out to
bro.
Geordie, because when Geordie first hit the scene, defensively that was his issue. He was playing good minutes. He was always an attacking weapon. He's completely changed his
Yeah.
game. He doesn't have the offensive stats that he had when he first come in, but defensively,
He bangs. Oh, man.
he's a presence now, man.
He hits, man.
And he works his ass off.
Yep.
And I think he's going to be one of those guys, if they do go on to win a competition or they go on a bit of a run, he might be the forgotten guy.
It's like your Alex Glenn.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that.
good comp.
Yeah.
And he obviously learned from Lexi in his first couple of years as well.
Alex Glenn, sort of like similar, like really underrated, but works really hard on those little things, man. Like,
Underrated from a fan's perspective, but not when players play.
Players,
against him.
love playing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
going to
good
be like
comp.
that, man.
What about the Tigers, mate? Like we said, like the Appy no try. Thoughts on the Appy no try?
So I just read the Fane who's right.
Yeah.
Surely he did know that.
All right, so let's get to
I
that.
can watch him catch it in the end goal.
Yeah. You got a bit of fluff on the
Sorry,
chin
mate.
too. That's straight up. Yeah, okay, sweet.
Surely he knew. Like it wasn't like he had his back
Nah.
turned. He watched him catch the ball in the end goal and went, fuck it, I'm just going to tackle him. I went, he's going to get sent for 10.
Yeah. He had to have
The
known.
look on his face is like, what happened? What happened?
He had to have known.
He's fucking, I don't know. It's a brain explosion, but he would have had to know.
He would known.
He probably just didn't know that he's going to get sent for 10. That's what I think he didn't know. He probably thought that he's just going to let it. He probably thought that the rest is going to let it slide because he's going to think that I didn't know.
Yes.
That's what he's thinking.
Yes, I think he was trying to bluff the
Trying to
referee
bluff the
by
ref.
getting up
I
and
didn't
looking
know.
confused.
No, mate, get off.
Hey, it was one of those moments where someone runs into you and you either check them or you don't. And he actually did the smart thing by making out that he looked like he didn't know. He makes the tackle, gets up, sort of looks like
At marker. I'm like, you are not fooling anyone. 10. He's just always like,
I think
that's exactly what I was thinking. I said, he's trying to fool the ref.
yes.
Oh,
That's
mate.
what I reckon. Oh, yeah, nice talk.
Nice.
Nice talk.
Nice, docs.
And there's still 10 of them in there.
Still got 10.
Oh.
Sorry, bro.
What about the Appy no try though?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's lost grip, re-grip, try. That's what it looked like to me. Did it not look like that?
Nah,
It did move, got out of his massive hands,
Yeah.
and it re-gripped and then come back.
do you think he got a regrip on
He
it?
did.
Yeah, okay. I
You don't think so?
I'm like 90-10 with you. I'm 80-20, but I've got a little bit of doubt. And I think the reason you potentially have to be black and white on it in big moments, if there is some sort of moment in a big game. And no, look, this is a big game for the Tigers. And
about 10-6?
it was a crucial part of the game. Don't get me wrong, Tigers fans. But I think to the letter of the law, yes, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Do they use the grass as some sort of, when in the NFL, if it hits the grass, then it's deemed like a fumble?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I look at that rule as well, and I just go, well, he had grip. lost it and then re-grip before it hit the grass.
I think it was very.
That's what I think.
I think it was very hard to definitively say that he didn't re-grip it. That's my sort of only pushback.
But if he didn't re-grip before it hit the grass, then it's a knock-on.
Yep.
But I think he re-gripped before it hit the grass.
Okay.
Therefore, he's got control of the ball.
Yep.
That's the way it should be ruled.
Yep.
Use the grass as the whatever, just like the NFL.
Yeah, tough call. All right, the second game at 7:30 was a cracker. Panthers defeat the Cowboys 26-20. They were leading 24-4 after a really awful period just before halftime. We spoke about Alamotti before. He takes one to the house right on halftime. And then straight after the break, they put up a bomb to Velame. Liam Martin dives on it. But apart from that, you'd argue Cowboys were the better team on the night. But again, that's not good enough to beat the champs. You have to be convincingly good to beat the champ, the back-to-back champs. And Cowboys, this is probably, for me, that was their best performance since round one against the Dolphins.
I agree.
But they still fall short.
Yeah. I think this could be one of those games where they're like, all right, we fucking should have won. If we count the Alamotti try and the one with Liam Martin, those shitty sort of ones, like we could have got these guys. Maybe this is the one that just gets the fucking wheels turning.
Yep.
Hopefully, right? You know, you had the Panthers. You had them on the rack. And you still got beat. That just shows how much resilience Panthers have got.
Well, let's start on the Panthers and we'll get to the Cowboys. I've seen signs of this during the Manly game. There are some tired bodies now for the Penrith Panthers, and
There's got to be.
Brian Toto was outstanding. I think the one constant, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, has been Dylan Edwards, just because he hasn't played representative footy. He didn't play in the World Cup. He doesn't play for New South Wales every year.
It's a club.
He played for Australia, obviously, last year on the wing, but that was the wing, and it was only a 2-game series. I think he only played one game.
Yeah.
I'd say the other one, who is just an absolute warrior, is Isaiah Yeo through the middle. But Liam Martin looks banged up. I know he copped an injury, a shoulder injury, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nath is obviously still rusty from his injury.
Luai looks good. They all look all right.
Luai looks good. He's got bounce about him, actually.
It's like they just know how to get through the season now. And they're very well managed off the field as well out there. Very professional. And it's all about the game, right? They can get up for that game. They can be banged up all week. And they get up for the game. It's just a cycle for them.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for 4 years.
To be up 24-4, to have the Cowboys come back in quick succession, go bang, 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 and then still probably hang on for 15 minutes defensively. Like Dylan Edwards, that try saver on Jeremiah Nanai so
Feni Fuiaki and Nanai were destroying them on the edges.
they've been so good the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they were hitting some really good lines out there. It was good.
Yep. Fene Fuiaki just signed with the Dolphins too, by the way,
Yeah, I know. It's great.
through the week. Yeah, good sign.
Have him and Tommy Gilbert in the back row.
Yep, because I think the Cowboys secured Hylam Lukey a couple of weeks ago as well.
He looks like he's coming along good.
But Dylan Edwards' tackle on Jeremiah,
He's ridiculous.
I've always been in it's either Teddy or Turbo for me at fullback. Fuck, I don't know, man. I'm starting to lean to Dylan Edwards,
Nah.
I'm starting.
I'm still that. It's just Teddy or Turbo.
At the moment, I've got, I think both those two fullbacks.
Yeah.
I thought Drinky defensively, because that's his only problem for me.
Yeah.
I think Drinky skill-wise
He's high.
has higher talent than any of the other fullbacks, even Latrell and Turbo. Like they can strip a 3-on-2, but Drinky is outstanding at it. Defensively, that's been his problem. The one-on-one tackle he made on Brian Toto at the end in the last 10 or 15 minutes to keep him in the game, and then he followed it up and made a real. He also helped on the other side of the field. Like that is Drinky can do that. This is what I questioned. I think it was only last week I questioned him about getting his body in front. He was outstanding as well. I think those two guys seen it as an opportunity to go, they're probably not going to play game one.
Well, they just need to keep being that next man up. You know
auditioning
what I mean?
for game two.
Yeah, man.
If game one doesn't go well, then potentially those two guys.
Like Dylan Edwards is going to be that guy who's just going to probably go through his whole prime, which he's in now, and not play Origin. Maybe that's just going to be it because I think Freddie said Darius Boyd played wing for Origin about 20 games.
He did too.
He was a fucking winger at the start of his career.
That's true.
Yeah, and then he developed into a fullback at St George. But
Correct.
he was the winger his whole time, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Then he went to fullback at St George. So Wayne made him a fullback.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
so
Did he ever play fullback at Broncos originally? So he was winger the whole time. Yeah, he
because
was
you had Carmichael and Hodjo and
right.
all these other guys there. So he was a winger for his whole career, and then he ended up playing fullback at St George and Newcastle, and then back there. But he played for only a couple of origins for Queensland at fullback, a couple of series because Bill and that was there and GI.
Yeah. I think if Dylan Edwards doesn't play this series, it's pretty much
Because he's a genuine fullback. He's not a winger that turned into a fullback like Darius.
And I think there are better options to play on the wing than Dylan Edwards playing on the wing anyway.
fucking
If he's playing, he's got to be fullback for me. That's
Yeah,
it.
you've got Fox, you've got Suoliti. Yeah, if he's not an out-and-out fullback, he's not in the team.
Yep.
And that's unfortunate because he's been so great.
He has.
He has been.
He has. Yeah. Like I said, for the Cowboys, we talked about it at the start of the show, but Jason Tomolo is so much better off the bench. Thomas McKaylee was a really point of difference for him.
He did. He changed the game. When he come on, a couple of offloads here, late footwork, getting in between numbers. I liked it.
Yep.
He looks good. I'm proud of him. Happy for him.
Yep. So I think he'll be a part of their makeup moving forward for sure.
And I think just say with Taumalola coming off the bench, I just hated because he's such a fucking great of the game. But maybe that's just going to suit him for the rest of the year because it looks like the pace of the game was exactly how he needed it.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like it was slowed down a little bit. His footwork was working. His first run was about 25 meters. He had all that. Looked good.
Yeah.
So maybe that's their go-to now.
Yeah, instead of him taking on...
He doesn't have to take on a whole pack by himself because when you play against the Cowboys, stop Taumalola. I don't care what he's playing like or what's happening now. He's still your main guy.
If you get him on his back, then you slow down the ruck and everyone else plays off the back of it. And plus, I think Griffin Neem's the answer long term for them in the front.
He's the youngest guy there.
Yep. All right, mate. Let's get to these. This is an average
These
game.
were low games.
Yeah,
mate.
low games. The Knights defeat the Dolphins 18-14. It was a much needed win for the Knights, though, mate. And no Kalen Ponga, but David Armstrong looked like he got a little bit about him. They call him the Bread Rico, I think, up there. All the boys are saying, "Congrats, Bread." He must just have a little bit of lair about him.
Yeah,
but
I like it.
With that comes confidence,
Yeah.
and he looked like he didn't lack it, mate. He went after a couple of those bombs that he
50-50s,
yeah,
was straight in there.
His body on the line.
That's what you need. That's what you need from a young kid who's taken a guy like Kalen Pong's spot. For probably the rest of the year. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's all you need. You need to energize the bunny out the back because you're not going to have the skill set of KP, but you're going to have his fucking energy out the back, and that's what they love about him. Just goes after everything, competes on everything. That's all you want from a guy. Well done on your debut.
Did you know how I thought the Knights were going to play better in this, and I don't think it's going to be long term, but I thought I was going to get a reaction with Kalen being the star player. Also comes pressure about getting in the ball. And I think there was a more balanced attack. Obviously, Jackson takes over a little bit more, but Tyson didn't look like he had to overplay his hand. Got a nice little ball to Dane Gagai, kicks well. I think long term it's not going to benefit them and they're going to struggle down the road.
Yeah.
But I think in the short term, in the interim,
I think so too.
It takes a bit of pressure off everyone
Hastings
at the Knights.
can just run the team, right? He's got a skill set. He can run the team. This is what he wants.
Yes.
This is what he wants. He wants to run the team. Now it's yours.
Yeah.
And that's what the coach should empower him with and just say, look, run the boys around, get the wins, let's go.
Yep, I'm with you, mate. What do we got there? Actually, I'm going to go at it. What about the Dolphins? I just wrote down for the Dolphins.
Too many class
Another reason I also thought the Knights were almost specials for me in this game, but I love the points just because, the Dolphins were great against Parramatta, but there was still there's a lot of Queensland Cup players that are playing in this game. No Herbie Farnworth, no Tom Flegler, no Felice Kafusi, no Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. Those guys are all representatives.
You put those guys in, who would you have backed? In this team?
Heartbeat.
Yeah.
Dolphins 13 plus. Dolphins 13 plus.
I agree.
And even with Kalen back in Newcastle, I'm still that.
Even Lemuelu, he's been really good. Flegler, how long's Flegler? What's he done?
Flegler's indefinite. He's AC. So they reckon they might get Herbie and Lemuelu back this week. Hammer is 50-50 as well. I think
grade 2 Hammy or what?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think Wayne said after the game Hammer's 50-50 and the Hammy's coming across. Nice.
Okay.
But I probably wouldn't risk it for Hammer.
I can't risk that. He's probably going to risk it because he knows Origin's coming up.
Yeah, but
he'd be in there, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's lock.
Yeah.
He'll be starting centre.
You don't want to come in there with no runs in your legs, mate.
No.
And he's fit enough. But the Flegler one he come out of nowhere.
Because there were reports that he was going to play the next week. Like
Yeah.
Wayne said it wasn't that serious. Now he's missing. They've got indefinite on the injury report next
Yeah,
week.
it must be more than an AC then.
Right. The Sharkies.
It was a hard watch, but that game.
It was.
I nearly fell asleep.
It was. There was some. I like there was a good. It felt like the fullbacks were tackling each other way too much. Trey Fuller.
How do you do that?
And
I reckon
Armstrong.
If you do if that's a record on one-on-ones, that's a record. It was about 8 times.
What's it with Suncorp and Knights games? Like,
What's
remember
the
last year it was
deal?
Walshy and Kalen that kept on meeting each other?
How do you do that?
This time it's Fuller and Armstrong.
They're the two people that never really meet on the game unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, obviously looking for it.
Yeah. All right, mate. The Sharks 40 defeat the Canberra Raiders 0.
Oh, God.
Ricky's 500th game as coach. He was, as you would expect after the game.
What was he like? Did you watch a depressor?
Yeah.
What was he like? Bit angry? a little bit let down?
There's actually a part of me that was like, yeah, he was pissed off.
Yeah.
But he also understands he's got a very young team, and he highlighted that. We've got Chevy Short in his second game. Yeah. We've got Ethan Strange in his, sixth game? Maybe more, maybe under 10 anyway. KO Weeks, they bought from Manly as a backup utility. They've got this Ethan Sanders kid. They're in a rebuild, the Raiders, and they've performed. They could be a candidate to be the Dolphins of last year, where they're trying to build something there. They've got some OGs. They're going to help it along the way. Like Joseph Tarpany missing that try on Hazelton is just not what Joseph Tarpany
That ain't Joey Tarps.
That ain't Joey
Tarps. And, like, don't look at it like that either because he's not that dude. You could see in the look in his face, he was more shocked than anyone. You know, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
What I'm seeing now is, like, round 8 going into round 9, is these teams with a lot of young players in. A lot of the core players are really young.
Yep.
They're starting to slip off a little bit.
Yeah.
They're starting to slip. Like, just like defensively, it's hard to grind week to week to week to week. You're in round 9 now. Trying to improve every single week, getting beat, losses, wins, roller coaster. Fuck, mate. Like, it's starting to happen. And that's where the better teams, they just stay up here all the time, consistently get the highs, come back down here, lows, come back here. And that's coaching and that's culture.
Yeah, everyone takes a look every now and again.
It does, yeah. You know, and you see, like, you know, the Roosters pumping St. George, you know, like a lot of these teams are like, fuck, I thought we're going all right. Then bang. How do you get back on track?
Even the Knights, right? They get pumped against the Bulldogs. They turn up the next week. I don't see it for the Raiders. With no Fogarty, they just really lack direction. So
you look at their kicking game, man. His kicking game's ridiculous.
You look at the key positions that they've got. They've been really good getting into a grind with team, but they've got really no one with creative ability at this point of their careers. In Stewart, in Strange, like even when Geordie Rapps comes back, he's not a guy that's going to strip you with a shitload of shape. They want to go through the front door, but if you don't have that stability at the half position, like Fogarty's arguably one of the most important players for a team in the competition, and I think they really
defensively he's really good.
Yeah, he is.
He's a leader. He's a senior player. He kicks like I think his kicking game was the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think Cleary has been out obviously most of the year, but I think he was like
in 2024.
Yep, he was the number one. He was kicking over 500 or 600 meters a game, averaging. That's a lot of meters. They're still going to fall back. They're still going to compete. That's part of their culture. That's part of Ricky Stewart coaching. They're still going to compete. It's just going to be hard, to put everything on a fucking Weeks and a Strange and a rookie fullback. It's just like it's going to be hard. Danny
Levi's a journeyman 9.
Like they just got absolutely pumped through the middle. Fuck, Cronulla were relentless, and that's when Joey Tarps and Big Papa were on.
Yeah.
They fucking Huddy Young, everyone, they went straight through the
Morgan Smithies.
Straight through the front door. That don't usually happen against Canberra. No. And once that roll on happens, right, it's hard to get back.
Yeah.
It blew their legs out. It blew fucking Levi's fucking head off. They just kept going at him. They just kept moving Joey Tarps around, moving Big Papa. No one was lining those guys up because you wouldn't, because you get put on your back.
Yeah.
But, even Smithies was working his ass off. But then the tackles, once it's a legs tackle, Mulatalo, Katoa, fucking Will Kennedy's been playing outstanding.
Yep.
Brayley's been playing outstanding. Fucking Nico Hines off that. It just went, how do you stop the bleeding? It was so hard, and he just couldn't.
The
40-0.
reason, remember, I don't know if I said this, maybe I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I do a few shows obviously throughout the week. The reason I had the Sharks not making the 8 was because I worried about their top tier talent at key positions, but they've got a 7 or 8 out of 10 at every position, really. And that's what they've got, a really balanced team. Tom Hazelton, he's leapfrogged in all the front rows.
Yeah.
He's become the dude this year.
What about Jesse Ramian? Does he get into consideration for Origin?
Oh, he'd have to be.
I mean, he's going to be one of those players. He's going to be, a great centre for about 10 years and probably never play a rep game because of the fucking fact that we got guns.
If
at
they
centre.
decide to play Turbo at fullback, he has to come into contention.
He has to, mate.
Right centre.
He's so good defensively, and he's play twos. He's strong as hell. He's got offloads. There's hardly any mistakes. He's a lockdown defender.
Yep,
he's
lockdown.
a lockdown defender.
Yep.
So if you're going to put Holmes or anything on him or the Hammer,
It'll be
he's gonna
Hammer.
lock him down.
It would be Hammer on the left who played left
And he's
last
going to
year.
give you good play twos, and he's going to get. I don't know. I think he'd be built for Origin.
Yeah,
right?
so do I.
I think he'd be really tailor made for Origin.
Yep.
If he was a Queenslander, I bet he'd be playing Origin by now.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
not. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. I reckon he would have had
Yep.
about 5 or 6.
Yep.
Because he's been that good.
Especially in the last couple of years, like they've moved Hammer to the centres,
Yeah.
who's
He's
obviously,
a fullback winger.
but he did
That's
really
just-
well.
But he's just what was he at the end of the year? He was a starting centre for Australia.
Yep.
So that's how versatile that man is.
Is Nico your 6 for New South Wales? Fuck, he's
He
in good
has
nick,
to
mate.
be. His defense is I don't care about his attack.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
right.
care. Like I always said that before. I said I love the guys who go back to the lab and go, you know what are my deficiencies? It's not my kicking game. It's not my attacking game. It's defense.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Fitzy, how can I work on it? How can I work on it? Bang, bang, just been doing a lot of video, a lot of work, and then executing it on the field. So he deserves to be number 6. Luai is he's going to have a case to argue with too.
Luai's got some bounce in his step, doesn't he?
He does. He's got some swag, and I think does he lose the job?
Well, he lost it in game 3 last
He did.
year.
Well, he has
Cody
already
Walker,
lost it.
right?
So Cody Walker. Does Cody Walker lose the job?
Mitch Moses was another candidate before the injury. I think Nico's 6
Yep.
because of the reason you stated. His intent with defense,
Yeah.
like he's not just trying to tackle people. He understands,
Trying
like
to put his shoulder through,
when you're 6'3" and
he ain't small.
he's big, man. Nico's big, and he's like one-on-one wrapping people up, and
He's been
and-
in the gym too. He looks a little bit like probably 2 kilos heavy of muscle.
Yep.
So that helps a lot in contact. When you're 3-man, you got to come leaning in. And he's the right 3, right? So he's predominantly tackling with his left shoulder. Who knows that's his strongest shoulder?
True.
You know what I mean? Like he could be right shoulder dominant, which most of us are. And you got to come in, you put your head in there. It's all technique stuff, man, on that other side.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
a different thing. If you're left 3, you're coming up and in jamming with your right.
feel good about that.
Easy.
Feel
Feel
confident.
good about that. On the other side, do I feel good? Because your head gets in the middle of their hips and late footwork, right foot, all that kind of stuff. So he's been working on it because it's about where he positions himself on the field. So he's always in perfect position now. Well done.
Yep.
And I think he does deserve the 6.
Yep, so do I.
Because he's not your traditional 7 who predominantly plays on one side of the ruck. He attacks wherever the fuck he wants.
Yep.
And you need that sort of guy. It's like a Kirk Gidley coming off the bench, fit as hell, just attacking everywhere. And that's what Origin is.
Yep, awesome. All right, we'll finish at that. That is the review for round 8. We'll see you on Thursday,
See you Thursday.
for the preview of round 9.